So this must be episode Pyramidical podcast.
22.
22. Wow.
So it's 22. A loaded 22. See, I had a video called 23 Proofs that Billy Meyer is a hoaxer.
I remember that. Yep.
But he was actually 22.
That's right. It's something like that.
But
right.
I changed it to 23 so it wouldn't sound like some message, some secret message. Because Billy Meyer claims the men in black tried to shoot him multiple times. I didn't want him to think I'm one of those people. In no way, shape, or form am I against him sharing his lies. He has a legal right to do so.
Yeah.
But his ex-wife said he's a fake. People who jumped on the scene in the 1970s interviewed him, and he let them walk around. And they walked around and they found, like in his garage, like 2 perfect flying saucer models, like from the photos. And he claimed, oh no, those were models of the, and then he always got caught. When he was caught, he always made up lies on top of the lies.
Yeah.
And his lies were really bad. We're talking when someone exactly matched up the model and actresses on the TV show, because he would often snap photos of the TV.
Yeah.
And they didn't have DVR back then. So it was just live TV. He's just snapping photos of live TV.
Yeah.
And they didn't necessarily have reruns back then, possibly either. And so he thought no one could prove it. But now that we have recordings of these old shows and you can play them back easily, people have matched them up 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
And, he would take photographs of NASA cartoons. NASA put out a lot of cartoons back in the day because, even Buzz Aldrin said, during the moon landing, you didn't see us land. You saw a cartoon because the delay was so extreme. They didn't have live footage.
Right.
At the time. Yes, they recorded footage and they brought it back. And they might have even transmitted some, but it was so delayed. You just heard over the radio and over the TV, oh, we got news, they landed.
Yeah.
There was no picture. There was no live picture.
Right.
And anyway, there's a lot of cartoons back then. And Billy Meyer would take photographs of these cartoons. A lot of them were just concept art.
Yeah.
And he would say, oh, I'm on board a spaceship. I'm looking down on planet Earth. And people matched up exactly like 10 NASA cartoons he took photos of.
Well, you matched up.
When he matched up the models, he would say, oh, the men in black found models that exactly matched the alien women that I saw. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what happened. Such bad excuses.
Yeah, he's awful. But but what I found when I remember going through your channel, and it's one of your earliest videos was on Billy Meyer and doing that. And aren't you the one that found the book matchup and the dinosaur thing? Aren't you kind of, because I know a guy named Zen did a thing and got into it with not just Billy Meyer, but obviously his spokesperson, Horn or whatever. And he got into, because Horn gets into it with everybody. And so he went to your website, I believe, Hoax on
Earth. I'm the one who matched up this book.
That's it. There it is. Yep.
Life Before Man is not an easy book to find, especially in America, because it's printed in Europe, where Billy Meyer bought it, probably at a local bookstore. Let's see where it's printed. Zednek Spinar is the guy who made it.
Yeah, it's not that easy of a book to find.
And
but you're the one that somehow...
It's printed in Czechoslovakia. So, yes, Billy Meyer from Switzerland would have seen this in his bookstore. Because Czechoslovakia, Switzerland, they're pretty close to each other. They share
relatively
European books.
Yeah.
So I had to go on to Amazon and search Europe's version of Amazon to even find it, because I already thought that maybe it's a European book. Right,
Wow.
and I found it, and it's an
Wow.
obscure book. It's a pretty rare book, at least it
So you
was.
knew it was from that book before you even got the book?
No,
Okay.
I just looked for books from the 70s printed using EuropeAmazon.com. So
Wow.
Amazon.eu or whatever it was that I searched it on. And then I had
Right.
to do backwards referencing to see if someone's selling it in the USA. And someone was selling one copy.
What was Billy Meyer saying? He was saying that he actually took a photo from the dinosaurs. What was the claim?
Yeah, I think there's even two photos from this book.
So
And they're not even
dumb.
photos, they're paintings. I think he took two photos of paintings from this book and claimed he time traveled to the Jurassic era or the, you know, whatever the
Yeah.
case, on
Whatever.
page 129. And actually, on page 128, I believe these are the two that he took photos of.
That's it. Yeah.
So here's the pteranodon. It's related to a pterodactyl, obviously, the
Very cool.
pteranodon. And I believe he also took a photo of this guy.
Right. Something like that.
So
Yeah.
what are the chances he took photos of two paintings on the same opposite pages?
Pretty good,
Or
actually.
that he
Yeah.
actually time traveled? No. Occam's razor, he clearly just took photos of his book. It's an
That's
exact
so.
match. It's not
It's an
sort
exact
of a
match
match.
too.
It's an exact.
No, it's 100%. And you'd think that somebody that got busted on just one thing alone, right? Faking and lying about just one thing would just
Mhm.
discredit that person. But no, like you can, like you said, there's 22, 20. People associate the number 23 with like very like secret messages and stuff like that. Did you know that?
Well,
It's like a
no.
Discordian thing from Robert Anton Wilson. He said that if you ever see the number 23 pop up, he's like, I might have something to do with that. It's like, and he was into
Well,
Crowley.
Billy Meyer learned early on that deny, 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 and people eventually believe you if they're weak enough, weak-minded enough.
Yeah.
He could deny a million times. I know he's guilty. But
Yeah.
die-hard followers will believe.
Yep.
Other hoaxers, other con artists have used the deny, deny, deny. It's the oldest trick in the book. I mean, and you see it even with shoplifters.
Really.
Shoplifters,
School students for sure. High school students.
you,
I didn't do anything. I didn't do what? I didn't do anything. It's
stealing
like,
tends to go
okay.
hand in hand with lying. You
Yeah.
rarely see a shoplifter who's honest. You rarely see
Really.
it. You know?
I
don't
don't
know.
do I haven't dealt with luckily too many, but I've seen videos of and they do deny, and it's always excuse after excuse. Like it's like in this day and age, like, and you don't think people have cameras? Like
Mhm.
there's a place up the street from me that's so bad that I remember where I was working at the time, the school I was working to, the principal came up to me and was like, "Hey, Brandon, can I talk to you for a minute?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And she's like, "Did you know why is your photo up on the gas station down the street, the convenience store down the street?" And I'm like, "Huh?" And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "Did you steal something from there?" I'm like, "Not, it never." I went there the other night after I coached basketball. I was like, I went there for a Gatorade. So I'm like, oh, I know what happened, right? So what I did was there was a huge line. There was something wrong with the gas pumps, and this is a small store, but it has a billion cameras everywhere. And there's a guy at home that just sits and waits for motion to happen, and then he finds something. And so what I did was I grabbed a Gatorade, and I'm waiting in line, right, for it. I'm thirsty and everything, and I was like, okay, this line is too long. I'm gonna not get gas here. I put the Gatorade down
You
and
just
walked.
chug the Gatorade.
I didn't
Bounce.
though. I didn't.
Okay.
I just all I did was put it down, John. And all I did was I took it out and I put it down.
Mhm.
But I did, which was okay. That's kind of douchey, I guess. But I was in a hurry. There was a line, like it was a thing.
Mhm.
But that's what this guy did was he took a photo of that. He stopped and took a screenshot, whatever, and printed it out like a poster size and
Wow.
wrote on it, if does anybody know this guy? Drives a XX car with license plate number, blah 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 blah, and posted it on the
Oh, for a
door.
Gatorade that you didn't steal?
Didn't even steal it, like just put
Wow.
down. And so when the principal said that, this is during the school day, all right?
Mhm.
The principal said that, and luckily the store was like, walking distance kind of from the
Mhm.
school. I'm like, I'm gonna go handle this right now.
Mhm.
And she's like, okay. And I was like, and I walked out of the school on the clock on their dime,
Mhm.
and just walked straight into the thing. And I confronted the guy, and
Mhm.
I was like, hey, I was like, what is this? And I was like, at first it didn't even look like me. She's like, is this you? I'm like, no. I'm like, wait a second. Yeah, that is me from the other. I'm like, I just went there. Wait a second. I don't know what happened. So I went down. I was like, you shouldn't be doing that. You got to be careful. Like I've known this building. I know the people who sold it to you. I know the people who like I didn't even steal anything. I just took. I'm sorry. I took out the Gatorade here. Do you want $5 for me to that something I didn't take? Here, take it. Yep. Blah blah blah. And he's like, oh yeah, we just do it. I'm like, that's dangerous to do. Like
Yeah, that's
you can
defamation. They
ruin
can't do
someone's
that.
reputation that way. You know what I mean? I get
Yeah.
it if I actually stole something, but like you got to
There's
be
a gas
careful.
station channel that some dude stole a candy bar, and the dude like it's for the YouTube channel, of course. So he works at a gas station, but
Yeah, I've
he
seen
probably
this.
makes more money from the YouTube channel.
Yep, I
But
think I've
he
seen this.
follows people. He followed this guy that stole a candy bar,
Yeah,
and you can see the guy's work truck with the work phone number. And he's like, "I'm going to call your boss and get you
yeah,
fired over a candy bar."
yeah,
Like that's extreme right there.
yeah. So yeah, like yeah. I don't know. I mean, people shouldn't steal
Yeah,
or
don't steal,
don't
but don't
steal.
ruin someone's life over a candy bar. I mean,
But yeah, don't. Yeah, exactly.
you can call the cops. The cops aren't going to arrest someone over a candy bar.
I mean, the thing is,
Yeah.
like, you ruin that person's reputation. Like, they can really, sue for damages. You know what I mean?
I know. I mean,
I
that
was really
guy.
mad. I was really mad.
But
I like
as
if
far as you, yeah, that's even worse when you didn't do anything. Yeah.
yeah, a teacher too, right? And like this is my job. Like
Mhm.
it was such a like so this set of gas stations is just really bad. So anyway,
I just got.
but
I got to get the list of the topics I was going to talk about. I
oh
got to
yeah, I have a
email it.
list too. I was just
I have to
thinking.
email this list to myself
Oh,
because I
cool.
can't read it while we're on here, but I can read it on my computer.
Yep.
So let me email this list to myself, and
All
then
right.
I can because
I'll just.
I wrote a pretty long list. I want
Oh,
to
did you? Oh, good. I wrote down
remember what it is.
the prisoner Criterion channel, which I want to like maybe get a subscription for, maybe if it's worth it. The Criterion channel sounds pretty good if you're a movie head.
Yeah,
And I
but
wonder if they'll have like behind the
The
scenes
Prisoner is
stuff.
often on Tubi. I've seen it on Tubi.
I've seen is it on too? Wow, that's
I don't know
great.
if it's on Tubi right now, but I've seen the whole thing on Tubi like 1.5 times.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got it. So you saw Deadbeat at Dawn, you didn't like it.
Well,
I have.
I didn't not like it. It's just the gore isn't my style,
Right.
and the sexploitation isn't my style.
Yeah, it's very
But
much a
that
product.
era, I understand that's a very common. Quentin Tarantino's a big fan of that era. He talks about
That's
it a
true.
lot, and obviously he's been inspired by it. But
Y-
in my movie, I'm not going to show any gore. Like Deadbeat at Dawn, they'll show the close up of the hand getting cut and the close up of the face getting cut, and
So
I don't like gory close ups.
it's
That's
fun to watch with other
even
people.
if it's cheap, even if it looks fake,
Yeah.
kids aren't going to like that. Kids are going to
It's
be
just
squeamish. They're
no,
going to turn it off immediately.
no.
Not that my movie for kids, but my movie will
Yeah,
be
all
for all
audience.
ages, to be
Right.
honest.
I think that's smarter and better. But yeah, but that guy, like you would never be able to get away with some of the stuff. Like, do you remember the scene where he rappels down and throws a ninja star at the security guy
Well, I'll try to
with the
watch more, but
oh my
I'm with my
God.
wife, and she doesn't like gore
Oh,
either.
I didn't want her to. Oh God, yeah. I wanted to give
So
you a fair warning.
we watched it for a couple of minutes, and then we started
Ye-
watching
Oh,
Fallout. We're on season 2 of
Oh,
Fallout.
you're watching Follow. I've watched
Yeah,
all of it. Johnny
I got
Pemberton's in it.
I got
You
some
know,
Amazon Prime, so I want to watch it before it runs out.
Johnny Pemberton somehow landed a role in that. And you know who Johnny is? Johnny Pemberton is all right. So the guy who interviewed me, Brent Weinbach, for his podcast, the Brent Weinbach Poundcast. Yeah, the Poundcast with DJ Doug Pound.
Mhm.
Um,
Well, I know Macaulay Culkin for some reason is on season 2 of Fallout.
oh, for Johnny Pemberton.
Macaulay
Sorry,
never acts,
no,
and
he
so
must
for
love it.
Macaulay to do it, I tried to think in my head, and it took me 1 second to figure it out. In
What?
1 second, I was like, why would Macaulay go? He's a fan of the video game.
Oh, big time. Yeah,
He
yeah.
has to be a fan of the video game.
Yep.
Macaulay Culkin famously was addicted to World of Warcraft so much that he got his then girlfriend Mila Kunis addicted to World of Warcraft.
Really?
And Mila Kunis was so addicted to World of Warcraft, her agent couldn't contact her unless her agent went in the game to contact her.
Hmm. Wow. That's pretty
So
extreme.
she wouldn't answer phone calls. Her agent had to go in the video game and talk to her in the game.
That's pretty cool.
So apparently Macaulay was into it, but somehow Mila got even more into it. That's hilarious.
So Macaulay Culkin or Mac, I was a fan of his early podcast with Matt Cohen called Bunny Ears, which everybody should
Bunny
check
Ears.
out.
I watched a couple episodes of that before he got married. I saw the episode where he's talking to his soon-to-be wife, I guess.
Yeah, Brenda Song, who's really
Yeah.
nice and beautiful, and some Netflix shows and stuff like that. But so Macaulay Culkin only does roles that he really wants to do and like shows that he really likes. So like Righteous Gemstones. I think he had a cameo in the final season or something like that. He was a big fan of that show.
I
think Carl
I don't remember
Culkin,
him in it. Maybe
or
he's
was
in
it?
one.
Oh, was it? It was one of the Danny McBride productions. But I believe it was Righteous Gemstones. Culkin
I
was
watched
in.
that whole thing.
So
Yeah.
but the thing, you're right. He was a fan of video game, fan of probably the season. He's a huge video game head. He is the reason why we have like a Toe Jam and Earl revised edition or whatever, the revamped edition. Like Macaulay Culkin was behind the whole production of that and like bought the rights. He has all this money. And stuff. Like he's a very wealthy dude, obviously. So yeah, he only does stuff.
Macaulay said he didn't spend his money. He still has millions.
Yeah.
So he's pretty smart. Pretty
It's
smart.
very smart. But and he's just funny and just like an ordinary dude. But it's really funny. Like where I was going, Johnny Pemberton is also on Fallout. He's in the first season, if you remember. He plays one of those.
Yeah, he's a ghoul.
He turns into a ghoul. Yeah, exactly. Right. And so he took 3 hours of makeup, I guess, to put that. But he's a comedian. He started as a stand-up. You know what I mean? And
I recognize it. Yeah.
He was on Rogan and stuff, but he and like Tim Heidecker and Brent Weinbach and DJ Doug Pound are all kind of a crew, like a kind of a mini crew, I guess you could say. And so they're kind of related. So it was so funny to see Johnny on like a legit TV show. I was like, no way, Fallout. He's in Fallout. I'm like, no way, that's Johnny Pemberton. Like I've come pretty close to talking to him. We've been on I don't know, like the same shows and stuff. So anyway, I thought that was cool little connection. But I love Kyle MacLachlan. You posted something about Kyle MacLachlan enjoying a damn fine cup of coffee.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think many Twin Peaks fans saw that.
I didn't.
I got like
I totally missed it.
3,000 views on that video.
Did you really? You should.
40 likes.
It's good. It's good.
So
I didn't.
People really liked that clip.
That's a good notice. You noticed stuff. That's why I always want to run things by you. Go ahead.
Here's Keanu Reeves' new album.
Oh wow, Dog Star, all in now. Whoa.
All in now. I have to guess that the lead singer probably came up with the All In Now title.
Probably. Keanu's just like not about me, man.
Keanu's like, what do you want to call it? This guy's like, what do you want to call it? He's like, people didn't pay attention to maybe album 1 or 2, but We're all in now. Okay. I mean, I
Yeah.
haven't opened it because this is
Wait,
the collectible edition
absolutely.
that's signed by these three guys.
That's so
So I
cool. These
got
three bodies.
Keanu's autograph in here.
Oh, well, I
And
mean, the big autograph is that guy, not
oh,
Keanu
this
Reeves.
guy,
Yeah,
I know, the
he's
lead singer.
I
Man,
who the basis is pretty cool, I guess, but like I think he's some actor.
very cool.
I don't know
Okay.
what he was in. I forget. I think he was in like Twin. No, he was in Twin Peaks. He was in like I don't know. He's done like some video games and crappy movies. Like not a good person. Not like I don't know who he is. Something he's related to Christopher Reeves. Um,
Well,
Keanu, I think his name is.
no, his name
That
is Keanu. No, that's the movie about the kitten from Key and Peele.
yeah.
I forgot his name.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Something
this
Reeves.
guy used to do multi-million-dollar movies
Oh, that's the guy.
to the point where Elon Musk thinks we're in the Matrix.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We should talk about the simulate. That keeps
But
making a comeback.
he decided he doesn't care about the millions. He cares about
It doesn't.
making
No,
an album,
honestly.
which is
Right.
proof he doesn't care about the money. This
That's
album
right.
is 100% for artistic purposes.
Yep.
And this
Yep.
signed album cost me like dirt cheap. It was like 35
Really?
bucks or something.
It's not bad.
Pretty great deal for a signed album. And I've never, I have like 10 signed albums. I've never got a signed album that was shrink wrap sealed. So they're actually smart. These are smart guys. I'm
Yeah, that is
glad that
cool.
it's shrink wrapped
Preserve it.
because every other signed I have, they have to open it to sign it. And with Scott Weiland's band, The Wildabouts, I bought it after the fact. After he passed away, I snagged one.
Nice.
He had an Indiegogo where his very last album, he gave out a special signed edition. And that edition is just a regular album in shrink wrap. And then they gave you an extra sleeve that was signed.
Oh wow.
So
Oh yeah.
even they couldn't figure out how to shrink wrap it. So pretty smart. And
Yeah.
here's my other albums I recently got.
You can tell a lot from the packaging.
I got the
oh, beautiful.
the first album of the Cranberries, one of my
Awesome.
favorite bands.
Yeah.
And I did see the Cranberries in person in the year 2000 and man, I think it was 2001.
Oh wow, you saw him after me.
saw
I
the
saw him in
Cranberries
1999.
back in the day.
I think it was 99, 96,
99?
something like that. Yeah, around I saw
Is that
them.
when I saw them?
I don't know, probably. That's where when I saw them. I don't know when you saw them.
Oh, okay. I think I saw them in 2001.
All right.
And I mean, I'm pretty sure it's 2001.
Yeah,
I guess it could have been 2003 or 4. But no, I think it was 2001 or 2004, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I saw them in Las Vegas at the Joint. And the Joint is closed down.
I've never been.
It doesn't even exist anymore. They closed it down.
Yeah.
It was the Hard Rock venue in Vegas.
Oh, the Hard Rock.
And man, I really wish I bought VIP tickets because like
Really?
so few people bought VIP tickets that everyone that bought VIP tickets got a photograph and autographs.
It's worth it. I think sometimes
it would have been worth it. There was only like a handful of people. I got to see the people
better
online,
seats. Yeah,
and I should have got it, but I was too.
You do get treated differently. Even when I got the VIP for like Wise Blood gave me free tickets to her VIP all access to her show, which was one of the best moments of my life. You know what I mean? Remember? Cool. But also like when I went and saw Tim and Greg, like they just treat you differently, and you don't have to pay too much more sometimes.
They shouldn't treat people with cold hard cash differently.
But they do. Like they give you a better section. Yeah.
As Bob Odenkirk said, money makes you more important.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but did you see?
It's a skit. It's him, and it's an old skit from Mr. Show.
I love Mr.
But here's probably my latest album. Is Grimes' best album.
I like Grimes.
Grimes' very best record. It's called Visions.
What is that? Who did the art on that?
Grimes did the art.
Wow.
So yeah, that's her style of art. She draws like that.
That's cool.
I mean, my I got into Grimes a long time ago, but this is the first Grimes album I've ever bought. It's the 10-year anniversary of
Pretty cool.
Visions, and it's like a special color, green or something.
Nice.
And it has her best song. I mean, not her best songs, but
It's
yeah,
unopened.
it has her
Unop
best.
Unopened.
It might be opened. I'm not sure. No, I think it's sealed.
Because
Right.
sometimes there's oh, the back. Show the back. I haven't seen the back.
Yeah, she drew this too.
Oh, that's pretty. Wow,
I
that's her.
think that's a self-portrait.
Can you wait? Go back a little. So, oh, cool. She's holding up like an all-seeing eye thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's from
Hand of
Canada.
Glory,
And in Canada,
Montreal, right?
easy to become famous as an artist. I don't know why, but that just seems to be the case.
Yeah. Did you see Bob Odenkirk is there? I guess he filmed this a long time ago, but they're finally releasing it. The Room, his version of The Room, he's starring.
Yeah, I saw
Did you
that
know
like a
about
month
this?
ago. Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
about it a month ago.
I just found out. I mean, I heard about it, but I
I
didn't.
always get these alerts.
Yeah,
Like I could have went in person in LA to watch it,
right.
but I work a regular 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
I even got an alert. Cara Delevingne was performing for free.
I get alerts too. Yeah.
You could go
Wow,
to
really?
her. I could have went to her show for free.
Awesome.
See, the reason I'm a fan of Cara is because she's the voice of Nonstop Pop. She's the DJ from Grand Theft Auto
On
5.
GTA, right? Yes.
Yeah,
I've been streaming that.
so
Yeah.
that's where I became a fan of Cara. Her personality and her voice is just
He's
amazing.
good. He's very cool.
She's
Yeah. I'm playing that for
always
the
wanted to
first
be a
time.
musician though, and it's hard. It's hard
Yeah, it is
for a
hard.
model turned actress to become a musician. It's very
Right.
hard. The music world is apparently the hardest to break into.
I mean, Scarlett
And
Johansson
so,
is pretty good too, and she
I mean,
tried.
that's why Jamie Foxx built a studio in his house
Right.
so he could court musicians to do a record with him. And it eventually worked. And he had Kanye West do a song with him, and it was a hit.
A lot of actors really start out as musicians and want to be musicians. Look at Johnny Depp. Look at or like have ventured in. As far as women though, Scarlett Johansson did a couple albums that were pretty good. One is like I think it has a great like it's a covers record, and she does covers, and she's got a great live great tune. But yeah, Bob Odenkirk in The Room looks really funny.
Yeah, that
Um,
looks really funny.
so I'm
I
sure
did
he's going to be great, you know.
I did see Scarlett Johansson at Coachella.
Did you?
Jesus and Mary Chain were
Beautiful.
on stage, and she's
Oh, wow. I like
like,
them.
I want to sing too. And like
That's from the movie.
they didn't put her mic up. Like you could barely hear her. So
Yeah, she has a
unfortunately,
very soft voice too. Yeah, she has
yeah.
this very, very, very soft sort of voice.
But The
But yeah,
Room,
very hard industry.
I'm a huge fan of The Room. Um,
Yeah,
I've
you're
always
big,
wanted to
huge.
go see Tommy do a Q&A, and I
Me
live in
too.
LA. I live close to LA, so
It's true.
I can do it. But I just haven't had a time where it lined up and synced up.
Right. Yeah. But you're always
But
there. I mean, luckily you live in LA where there's all these events all the time, you know. So you're lucky. It's
yeah,
like I live in Boston, so it's like Boston, there are events, but it's not like being in New York. It's not like LA. They're there for entertainment and stuff. So,
in LA, if you don't have a job, not like I mean I have a job, but if you don't have a job, you can get free tickets for tons of stuff.
yep, you can make a
Like
living.
if you stand in Hollywood Boulevard, or
Yep.
more specifically in Burbank, if you hang
Yeah.
out in Burbank,
Right.
you will see people that look like they're asking for money, but they're not. They're actually
Right.
paid by studios to hand out free tickets.
Right.
Some guy was like, George Clooney tickets. Does anyone want to watch a George Clooney movie?
Oh, cool.
And it wasn't out yet. They want to do screeners so they
Yeah.
can get the reaction of early audiences.
Yep,
So
that happens.
you can get free tickets for movies and all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff. But obviously
Yeah.
with a job, I can't take all these too bad. Even the guy from Karate Kid, the TV
Oh,
show,
um,
he was going to be in The Critic. He was going to be the star of Quentin Tarantino's movie The Critic, and then he got canceled.
oh,
Okay, so
And
the show is called Cobra Kai. Not
yeah, Cobra
Karate
Kai.
Kid.
That's what I was actually thinking. Yeah, that guy.
Um,
But there's a bunch of people on that.
I know, but he's the big guy. He's too old for the
Big guy.
class.
Oh, was he from the original
No,
Karate
he's
Kid?
not from
He
the
was the
original. He's only from Cobra Kai.
okay. Cobra Kai, bad guy, and he was canceled.
Well, he's a big star. He's getting
Okay.
a lot of roles. He's turning into an A-lister. He's a
Okay.
very major superstar. If Quentin Tarantino wanted to make him the star of his last movie he's
That's
ever going to
amazing.
make, he's a pretty big star.
Is he? He's an older guy though. I'm trying to look. I don't know. I don't know who you're talking about. Is it Martin Cove?
I'm bad with names. His name is
Martin.
Paul Walter Hauser.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I see him.
So Walter Hauser, he said that, and I'm gonna misquote and screw it all up, but who cares?
Yeah.
He said there's basically only three people in Hollywood. There's only three kinds of actors in Hollywood: super mega douchebags that are self-absorbed pieces of crap. So
Hmm.
he's like really honest,
Good for him.
and
Oh, this guy,
he said there are people who are
professional
semi
wrestler.
douchebags. And then he said there's the down to earth people who are real, and obviously he's saying that's him. So that's
Seems
good.
like most
That's
places.
good.
Yeah.
But the person that, let's
Oh, he's a
face it,
wrestler. Hmm.
person that doesn't want to be in my movie, they're kind of in the middle. They're kind of a douchebag, but not a full blown douchebag because they're not famous enough to be a full blown. But the second they would become famous, they would be
They would be. Yeah.
they
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
the old riff raff
God,
quote.
there's so many of those types of people.
Riff
Honestly.
Raff's famous quote is, "My main goal is to blow up and act like I don't know nobody."
It's true.
And Riff Raff just got that. I've heard the my main goal is to blow up. I've heard that 1,000 times in the 90s. That's what rappers in the 90s said 100 times. I heard it 1,000 times. But
Hmm.
he added the act like I don't know nobody. He added that.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Well, it happens.
some kid said that in school, right? I think it was grade school. This was like 2 years ago at this point. His teacher asked this kid, "Oh, what's your goal in life?" "My main goal is to blow up and act like I don't know nobody." And he got like suspended from school because she
Oh.
thought he was talking about a bomb.
Oh, what the
Like
heck?
for the teacher to
That's
not know, blow up and act like I don't know. Just forget about the act like I don't know nobody. My main goal is to blow up. First of all, I've heard that on freaking Growing Pains. I've heard that on freaking
yeah.
Who's the Boss. I've
Yeah,
heard
that's
that as
extreme.
far back as the late 80s, early 90s. I've heard it on freaking, I mean, we're talking,
That's a tone deaf teacher. I'm sorry. You read the room,
that's
you know.
a really old saying that's
It
very
is.
popular. I've heard
Yeah,
it a
that's
1,000 times. For that teacher to not know that blow up means become
right.
famous and blow up and become
It's
really big and
extreme.
famous, the
Right.
teacher has to be dumber than a sack of rocks.
Imagine if
That's
they were an English teacher. That'd be even worse. You know, I can see if they're like, don't understand the language, but like it's it's in the dictionary. I don't know. Yeah,
at this
teachers are
point,
stupid. Of
it's in the zeitgeist. Everyone knows it's a common saying. It's
course.
very common.
But
But
yeah,
riff
people
raff
that
act
do
like I don't know nobody is pretty hilarious.
some rappers have done that. They've said, yeah, like don't act like you don't know somebody. But like you do, you're right. You do see it with these wannabe celebrities or like it what I call them is like wannabe they don't even want to be D-list celebrities. They're not even at the level of a D-list celebrity. They think they are, or they think
Mhm.
they're on their way there or something, but I know I could LA, Hollywood, there's like oh God, even I just off the top of my head can name like so many models, dancers, music like actresses that think that like that just because they're in the lead and they make good money commercials for like music videos for Red Hot Chili Peppers. This girl Morgan, who I know from LA, is really cool and she's a dancer, but she's not like arrogant about it at all. she's not now. She was a ballerina, and she did dance, and but so she's like a real working like dancer. She's been in a lot of videos and stuff like that, models and something like that. But she's not arrogant about it, man. She's like super down to earth. Like she I remember she had like drove like a truck from like the 1970s pickup truck. You know what I mean? Like, and she
Mhm.
needed help fixing it one time, so I helped her out. You know what I mean? But like she never is like rubbing it in your face that like, oh, or she wouldn't ghost you, or she doesn't think like she would be better than X just because you're not a known commodity in Hollywood or whatever. And you see a lot of it. Like my friend Todd, who I always reference here, who is Brett Easton Ellis's who is Roger Avery. I told you all that. Who
Mhm.
co-wrote, considers Quentin Tarantino his brother, co-wrote Pulp Fiction with him, screenwriter and all this stuff. Fan of the show, friend of the show.
Hmm.
He I don't know if he watches every episode, but shout out to him if he is. I know he has watched other episodes in the past. I do want to interview him. I'd love to have him on. But we'll see. He's a busy guy. Um, but yeah, like, it's just like you see yeah, so what happens is like Bret Easton Ellis is like a known commodity, right? Like he's like one of the best writers, screenwriters. He has had few movies done. Last movie he did was directed by I think Paul Schrader, who's like this famous director that like did Yakuza films in the I think the 80s. And he very interesting aesthetic. Like you can tell it's a Paul Schrader movie right away. He did that Dancing in the Dark music video for Bruce Springsteen, I think something like that, or was that somebody else? Anyway, he did the Bob Dylan Yakuza video for Someone's Got a Hold of My Heart or something like that, or Tight Connection to My Heart. And it's very bizarre. And Bob Dylan just says, they asked him about it because it's such a weird, like Bob Dylan's trying to act, and in Japan, he's in Japan. So you should, right? It's in the 80s. It's very 80s Japan. And Bob Dylan's there and Schrader's like trying to work in like this movie about him going into jail and being involved in the Yakuza gang, but it's a song about love, you know what I mean? Falling in love. And it's like an upbeat song. So how do you connect those things? And someone asked Dylan, and he goes, "Well, I mean, I thought I would do a music video with somebody who thought they thought they could make a movie, something like that." And he's like, he thought it was a failure. And some people look at it, but anyway, Todd would tell me that he would get approached as Brett's partner, just because he's Brett's partner, everybody would want in. Everybody would want in, except
Well,
me. I never mentioned him. I only like Todd because I wanted to talk to Todd. You know what I mean? And like I didn't even know he was connected to Brett at the time. I had no idea about that. And then I found out, no big deal. I don't care. And the reason why, like the real A-listers, B-listers, C-listers, to whatever you want to say, they like that when you don't give a crap about them. You know what I mean? Like they don't.
yeah, like
Yeah,
I did meet Samuel L. Jackson
that's right.
because I
At the
went to the
premiere.
Avengers World premiere, and I was
That's
dressed in a tuxedo,
yeah, you look great. Yeah.
and he could tell I didn't give a crap that he was famous.
Yeah.
So he was pretending not to pay attention to me for 15 minutes straight.
Right.
But
Right.
he was curious that who's this
Who
guy
is this guy?
that
Yeah.
that's not who's this guy that's really
In a
keeping his
tux.
boundaries and being respectful of my space.
Yeah.
Because a regular fan would be like,
Right.
"Woo!" And I was
Right.
I was very professional to the point where I think he thought I was a limo driver
Or in the movie. Or in the movies. Limo drivers don't
or
really.
some, maybe a producer's
You
son or
look.
something.
You look like honestly. That photo of you. You should maybe drop it in, edit it in. Is a great photo. Like you're on the red carpet. You look like a movie star. It's
I
insane.
did ask Samuel if I could take a photo. He said no, and I said okay. I respect
Right. That's
your
cool.
wishes, and I
Yeah.
didn't take the picture. And he was like, "Who is this guy who's not going to paparazzi me?" Like, I don't care if you're rich or famous or poor.
Yeah.
If you don't want a photo, I'm not going to bother you.
Exactly.
And
Did you
so
say he had like this like suit on that was like
He
Very the
had
material.
a white leather suit, and I
Right.
did touch his shoulder, and I did say, "Hey, can I get a picture?" And he's like, "No," and I said, "Okay."
Yeah,
When I
whatever.
touched his shoulder, he said, "Hey, don't punch me," and I was like,
He
"Hey,"
did?
and I was like, "I didn't touch you," and then he laughed and smiled.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool.
He was playing a
Just
game with
messing
me.
with you. Hey, don't
He was
touch
messing
me.
with me, and
That's
then
cool.
he walks away. And then I mentioned, I just won a Dr. Pepper contest. So that's why I'm here.
Oh, you
And
did?
Samuel L. Jackson laughed out loud.
No.
Like, because he was still at that point, we're talking, he's 15 feet away. He's still paying attention to me
Right. Right.
because
He
he wants
thinks
to
you're
know who I
somebody.
am.
Right.
He hears me say that. He turns around, looks at me, and goes,
Wow.
So I made Sam Jackson laugh
That
because
is great.
he paid attention to me because I acted, I genuinely, I didn't want to bother him.
Yeah.
I just won a Dr. Pepper contest. I was there. So my mom was like, "Ooh, we need to get you a tuxedo." And my mom actually bought me a tuxedo.
Wow. That's a good.
I wasn't planning on going to no tuxedo, but my mom was so
That's so
excited that I
nice
took
of
her.
her.
I took my
Wow.
mom because my mom's never
That's
been to a world
nice.
premiere.
Oh, that's so
So my mom's
nice.
dressed up in a dress, and she buys me a tuxedo. She gives
That's
me
so
a
cool.
haircut, and it's a pretty nice
You look
haircut.
great. Yeah, that's a great
And
photo.
actually, even though I didn't get a picture with me and Sam, a paparazzi lady did snap one
Oh, you
photo
said
of
that.
me
Yes.
exactly next to Sam.
But you
And
can't find it.
I've looked for that photo for maybe an hour after it happened. I've looked for maybe 30 minutes in the past couple of years. I can't find it, but it
Can't
is
find it.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Like,
It's out there.
I don't know if you've seen the movie Nightcrawler with
Nightcrawler.
Jake
Oh my
Gyllenhaal.
God, what a great movie. Yeah,
But on
absolutely. Yeah.
Nightcrawler, even though it's fictional and all fake,
Yeah,
they're showing real-ish stuff that these
absolutely.
paparazzi and then the news people have
That is
access to
such a good
photograph.
movie. I
So
can't
that
recommend
movie
that.
shows, and I've seen another movie, so I don't know how real
Dark,
it is.
very
But
dark.
there's a secret database of photographs for sale. And so the picture of me and Sam is on some secret database.
Oh, you think so? Yeah,
All you got to do is find Sam at that date, and you'll see 2,000 photos.
that'd be
And
cool.
somewhere in those 2,000 photos is me and Sam. And
That would be
I
cool.
don't care. I'll pay $500. I want that photo.
Five
So I
hundred
can put it on
bucks.
my wall. Here's me and Sam.
That is so cool. There's got to be because, like, I
It has
remember
to be out
when
there somewhere because
I
Sam's too high profile for them to delete it. They're not going to delete it.
anything like when I've met the presidents and stuff like that, people are like, "Well, where's the photo?" Like, I have a few photographs, but the last thing you're gonna do, and even I was told this when I was a ball boy for the Celtics. They said, "Don't ask for autographs, don't ask for selfies. You can't because you wouldn't be you'd screw up the vibe, you know what I mean, or whatever." And it just makes them feel like you're getting, you know what I mean? It just ruins things. So, but they do hook you up with like cool stuff, like a whole team will
Well,
sign,
I
the
do
whole
want to
team
talk
will sign the
about
ball, whatever. But
uh, like
yeah,
every world premiere I've seen, they hand out a swag bag with cool stuff.
yeah,
They didn't have that
they didn't.
at the Avengers
Oh,
world premiere. They
that's
had
it.
free popcorn, free Pepsi,
Yeah,
and outside they had free Dr. Pepper.
that's cool.
Inside it was only free Pepsi. And
That's good.
the only thing they gave you was a lifetime subscription to the Hollywood Reporter. So I
No
have a
way.
lifetime subscription. So
That's kind of cool.
I've received like 1,000 magazines from the
That's
Hollywood
what
Reporter.
they all read it. They
That's
all
pretty
read it.
cool. That's pretty cool. I
Every
read it.
it's the trades. They call it have you read the trades? The trades in Hollywood that everybody reads is that what there's another one. The Hollywood Reporter is the big one, but there's like a couple other LA Weekly or something like that and a couple that's awesome, man, that you got because
So
they have some great covers.
I got that back in 2012.
You still have it?
So since 2012 to today, I've received the Hollywood Reporter for free every single month.
That's so cool, man. That's a
And they
good I
asked
think
me
it's a
what
good
my
publication.
profession was, and I put film producer.
Awesome.
And I am a film producer
Yeah,
now
you
with my own
are.
independent film.
But you told that from you said that from way back in the day.
Yeah.
That's
So
pretty
the
cool.
Hollywood Reporter thinks I'm, big shot film producer.
That's
And
cool.
obviously, I even get special for your consideration Academy Award things, but I don't get any DVDs. I would love to join the Academy. You have to be a
Imagine
SAG
that.
member.
Yeah.
And
There's like
anyway,
certain things.
so Oliver Tree. I just want to talk about Oliver
Yeah,
Tree a
let's
little
talk about
bit.
that. Yeah, rest in
I know you
peace.
said you didn't hear about him too much or
I
know too
did.
much about him. Did you
I
ever
did
see any
find out
videos or any
though.
clips?
I did today. Like
I'm talking about before he passed away. Did you ever
no,
see it?
just in the zeitgeist, I might have like gone, oh, like, that looks weird, and like
Mm.
was like, oh, that's kind of cool, but it didn't
Mm.
even look real. Like his stuff was like very abstract, surrealist. So I might have seen
Yeah.
it here and there.
Uh,
And I had heard his name because Steve-O from Jackass was
mhm.
like
He was friends with people, yeah.
well, yeah, he was on a podcast with some guy, and
Mhm.
the guy didn't get this guy's humor. He's like, "Oh, are you some? I know what you're up to. Yeah, you're like an Oliver Tree or something." I was like, "Who's Oliver Tree?" Oliver Tree, and then people were comparing Jimmy Brown to Oliver Tree, and I was like,
Yeah, Oliver
"No,
Tree
no."
was a bit of a troll.
Was he?
I can break it down. I mean,
Yeah, please, please.
I first saw Oliver Tree, I would have to say 2 to 3, maybe even 4 years ago on
Mhm.
Instagram. And this is me thinking this is a brand new video. So this is how behind I was. I didn't know it was like a 6 or 7 year old video.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
basically, Oliver Tree was a YouTube slash Instagram slash TikTok star. And I think the height of his success was on TikTok. And since I never used TikTok ever in my life, other
Yeah.
than I did create a username and then
Oh,
deleted it. And then a year later, I went to TikTok to check if my username, I don't know.
it's good to get
So
the domain.
I
Yeah.
think maybe I think maybe I found out EA Coetting was banned and he has a TikTok, and
No way, he
I wanted
does.
to see EA's TikTok because he's been banned in almost every platform.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna say.
TikTok says he's okay. So
That's
yeah,
funny.
as far as I know, EA still has a TikTok. So I went to check EA's TikTok and I noticed my username was stolen. They're like, "Oh, sorry, we gave your username away. We gave Razimus away to someone else." Like, why
To
the
who?
crap would you do that? So TikTok's very cruddy in the fact
Yeah,
that if you don't log in every day, and even if I did log in every day, they probably still would have stolen. They give your
that's
username to higher profile people. So
who has it, I wonder. You know
some
what I mean?
TikTok ding dong stole my name.
I wonder
But
who's using it
so I had to
though. Like,
change it to Mysterialis or something. I think I'm
uh,
Mysterialis on TikTok right now.
that's uh,
And
that's
so
okay.
Oliver Tree, his trolling only okay. Oliver Tree, his target audience was always kids, always
Really?
kids. Oliver
I can
Tree's
see
target
that.
audience is kids. His trolls are specifically for kids
Yep.
because adults really weren't his fans.
Yep.
Adults didn't like his stuff. Adults thought he was
Obnoxious.
just a jerk, or
Yep.
adults knew he was a troll.
Yep.
Little kids didn't know he was a troll.
Yep.
Little kids thought everything he did was it's a real person.
Yep.
And so Oliver Tree is a persona. Now that's his real name.
Right.
His real
Is
name is
it? Yeah,
Oliver
I was
Tree.
gonna say.
His real name is Oliver Tree Nickel. Nickel is his real last name, but
Wow.
Oliver Tree is his real first and middle name.
Fascinating.
And but Oliver Tree was a persona he invented and created and crafted. Now it's not as good as Pee Wee Herman. Pee Wee
No,
Herman is one of the most perfect
that's true.
personas ever invented.
Wow, yeah.
People that didn't live during the 80s and 90s don't know. But
Yeah,
Pee Wee Herman
that's true.
went on Johnny Carson as Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah,
Pee
I
Wee
thought he
Herman
was
got a star on the Walk of Fame. Pee Wee Herman is what it
that's
says.
true.
Pee Wee Herman went on David Letterman as Pee Wee Herman.
That's
So
famous
my
right now.
whole childhood, I thought Pee Wee Herman was a
Me
real
too.
person and that was his real name.
I
I
couldn't
was like,
believe
maybe
it.
that's his Hollywood name, but that's what he goes by, and that's his real personality, and that's him. He's a real guy.
Yeah.
And so Pee Wee Herman did the same thing Oliver Tree copied to an extent, but Pee Wee didn't troll. Pee Wee was a real well refined thing that he
Comedian,
crafted
yes, act,
in New
yeah.
York City. I'm sure he did
I'm
it in
not
L.A.
sure.
too,
Yeah.
but he was called the Groundlings, and he was kind of like an Upright Citizens Brigade type thing,
Oh,
where
cool.
they did these comedy shows.
Yeah, I've heard of it, I
And
think.
originally, Pee Wee was an adult themed comedy show with raunchy humor and cursing. and then he cleaned it up for TV. And obviously, Pee-wee's Playhouse became a mega hit on Saturday mornings. I watched every single episode brand new.
Me too. I love those.
I had a Pee-wee Herman lunchbox.
Did you have the doll?
Kids at school didn't make fun of me for it because he was that cool.
He's awesome. Did you have the doll? Remember the doll? The Pee-wee
No,
doll?
I never got the doll. I
was
a couple
this
action
close again.
figures. I got
the Pee-wee
Conky.
doll was huge.
I had Conky, the you could twist it and he would move. And I wanted to get
Cherry,
the other stuff,
chair.
but I wasn't rich. I wasn't a rich kid. I just had Conky. That's it.
Yeah, well.
I wanted to get more stuff. I did have a Pee-wee official T-shirt, and I had maybe a couple other official merch items.
I didn't have that.
I didn't have mega everything. I wanted a Pee-wee doll. I wanted a pterodactyl plush, but I didn't have everything,
Yeah.
But I have purchased a few things since then. Yeah,
Paul Rubens.
I got something over here.
I remember the first time seeing him without Pee-wee makeup. I was like I think it was Boogie Nights, maybe, or in that Pee-wee costume, whatever. I was like, "There's no way. Wait, Pee-wee's not. Oh, that's not him. That's not it blew my mind, my little mind back in the day. That it was like a character and not a real person. So yeah, Oliver Tree is kind of like that. I can see that resemblance a little bit. Yeah.
So I'm a mega Pee-wee fan.
Oh, wow.
Here's an official Pee-wee decal you can stick to a window.
Wow, cool.
And I did have a couple shirts with this official logo on it. And cool. Oliver Tree isn't as refined as Pee-wee. He's not Paul Rubens level of genius by any means, but he's today's TikTok version of Pee-wee, if you will, to an extent.
Yeah, to an extent.
Oliver Tree's gimmick was he pretended he was 10 years younger than he was, or maybe even 15 years younger than he was, because
that's why the Jimmy Brown thing.
Rest in peace, he passed away at age 32.
Yeah,
but that he was pretending to be 22, even when he was touring the world. One of the last videos he posted was, I've been to 42 countries. I've been around the whole world. I've been everywhere. I've been to Antarctica, man. And I saw the ice wall, and I saw the secret
pyramid, he said, right?
Cave. And he was totally trolling. I mean, that was his style of trolling. See, little kids would accept everything he said as fact. Because,
and conspiracy people.
The first video I saw of him was maybe 2, 3, or 4 years ago, of him saying, "Oh, is that a 20-foot ramp?" And they're like, "No, it's 13 foot." He's like, "I can totally do that. My mom has a 40-foot ramp. I could do that easy." And then he does it like flawlessly.
I saw that.
And you don't notice that. You don't see the behind the scenes. He did it like 20 times until they get the perfect shot.
I imagine.
But the people looking at him like, "Who the F is this guy?" That was purposely in there as the skit. The whole thing's a skit, but it's designed to fool little kids, not in a bad way, just as a funny. This is this real person's life. And there's a video of him showing his fridge, and it just has Lunchables and chocolate milk. It has Lunchables and chocolate milk because his target audience is little kids that love Lunchables and chocolate milk.
Yeah.
And so almost every video he made was for kids.
That's cool.
And I have to admit, I'm not a fan of his music by any means. His music, I don't want to say anything bad about him, rest in peace.
Yeah.
I see of what he did, his character he created, as a very creative thing, a positive thing. Yep. And, when he died, even though I wasn't the biggest fan, because the last 10 times I saw him was on my Instagram, 10 advertisements for his latest album. That's it. I don't know why Instagram wanted to target me, but Instagram showed me his latest album 10 times where he's dressed up like a Shrek character. Wow. He's dressed up as the king, the short king on Shrek.
Yeah.
And I saw that advertisement like 10 times. And I was getting tired of it because not a fan of the style, not a fan of any of it. But he brought a lot. He kind of like Yoda. I had psychic vibes when he died.
Really?
He was such an over the top guy. He grinded so hard,
Yeah.
and then he died helicopter versus helicopter.
That's what I was gonna say. I found out.
And then the
Yeah.
helicopter falls down onto like a bunch of electric cars, and like the electric cars start
That's
even
what
a bigger
happened?
fire.
Oh
Someone
my
filmed the whole thing.
God.
So what are the chances a helicopter hits a helicopter and fall on some electric cars and like the whole thing blows up? Like
I was
that's
gonna say,
almost
like,
that's
rule
almost a
number one.
skit.
Well, that's what people were saying. This I was talking to this chick, Little Lemmy, who does a show this morning, and she turned me on to this guy Prof, who's like a indie artist, with really cool music videos and stuff. And she just got her CD signed and vinyl from this guy Prof. But she was talking about. She said like rule number one of high helicopter pilot training should be don't crash into another helicopter. Try not to do that. Like that's just
I
insane to
mean,
me.
I don't know, but like obviously one of the helicopters was following the other helicopter so close.
Oh,
And like
yeah,
one of the helicopters turned to see where the other helicopter was, and like it turned and crashed into it because one of
oh,
them was following it like too close.
yeah,
So like one of the helicopter pilots was like a trainee or something. That's what it looked
oh,
like. It looked
yeah.
really
That
bad.
makes sense. Okay,
I
that
think he
makes
was in
sense. But
Rio de
still,
Janeiro,
yes,
something to that
Brazil.
effect.
So much stuff goes on in Brazil. It's a wild country. Like,
And probably their flight standards are different than the United States. I don't know, but you
but
know,
look at Kobe Bryant
I mean,
and
Kobe was a little bit different. I mean, it
yeah,
was very overcast, very foggy, and the pilot
always
physically
bad
couldn't see the
conditions.
mountain. He couldn't see the
Yep.
mountain. He didn't rely on the instruments as much as apparently his eyeballs. It's a
Mm,
different scenario because
it
it was
is, but
crystal
it's
clear. It was crystal clear skies, and
you
just
saw the
one
video.
helicopter
Yeah.
was like way too close to the other. Rest in
Oh,
peace. Very
oh,
tragic. Very sad. I feel like there was somewhat of a shock wave hit me when Oliver Tree passed away, even though
really?
I
Didn't
didn't know
know.
him. I didn't know
Right.
anything about him other than seeing a few Instagram things here and there.
Yeah.
But I guess he had a million kid fans. I could just tell you this much: when I clicked on the video that they bombarded me with 10 times,
Yeah.
every comment was the same. Oh wow, great song. Oh wow, great
Huh.
song. Oh wow, great. And I
Yeah.
saw like
Yeah.
100 comments, which to me looked like bots.
Bots. Yeah.
So I mean, even the industry. Apparently, he had a
They
record contract. I didn't even know he had a record contract. I just remember him as the kid that went off the jump, and I thought he was just a skit comedian. I
interesting.
had no
Yeah, I
idea
don't
he had
know.
a contract with a record company. But record
Oh,
companies care about those TikTok views, and they must have
absolutely.
got a cut. They must have got a cut of all of his TikTok views.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
so
Well,
I
rest in peace.
I think either he or his record company paid for bots to leave positive comments.
Oh
But
yeah.
those
Yeah.
bot commenters aren't leaving positive comments now. So he did genuinely have a lot of fans, and
Yeah.
rest in peace. He created a persona that, I mean, I mean, you didn't know if he was real or not. So
Right.
obviously, it was pretty good if you didn't know 100% what was going on. But
Life is about creating yourself, you know.
there's other characters, there's other personas that you
Yeah.
could tell if someone's not in the know, they don't know that it's a character. Like
Right.
I would say Neil Hamburger is a
Yeah.
really good character because
That's a good point.
I I watched Neil Hamburger do a set at Jack Black's Festival Supreme,
Oh yeah.
and he was one of the funniest comedy routines I ever saw.
You really liked it, yeah.
And I saw a
Good.
couple on the internet before getting there, and he
Yep.
was 10 times. I think he was his most killer set. I wish I filmed it.
Really?
It
Yeah,
was
maybe.
that good. And both security guards, they're these big, hefty guys in yellow shirts,
Yeah.
you know, and it's the smallest stage in the entire venue. So these guys are like, protecting, whoever's up there. They don't know who he is. They don't know who Neil Hamburger is. They never heard of Neil
Right.
Hamburger in their
Probably
life.
not.
They're just paid to
Right.
stand there and be a
Right.
security guard, right? But like every punchline, the security guards are like, "What the f is this?" Because they don't know
This
who
is
Neil
different.
Hamburger is. They
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
get
yeah.
it. They don't understand. They're not in the know.
Yep.
They were fooled by what Neil wanted to fool people with.
Yeah, he's
His
amazing.
gimmick was obviously, I mean, you know everything about Neil Hamburger.
Not everything.
What's his real name? Greg Turkington.
Greg Turkington, yeah.
And when I first saw Neil Hamburger, I didn't know, but I quickly realized and figured it out. He's a what do they call it? What do they call those Las Vegas shows? What do they call them?
Oh, I don't know. Lounge acts,
Yeah,
like
a
lounge.
lounge act.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the
yeah.
crappiest lounge act
That's a good.
comedian on the planet is
Yeah,
his gimmick.
yeah,
That's
he
the
is.
thing.
Yeah,
But the jokes, even though they were bad, they were super hilarious because
yeah.
you didn't expect the punchline. Every
No.
single time the punchline was worse and
Ugh.
worse and worse,
Talk
but
about
on the
raunchy.
level which was to get a reaction. And it worked. It worked mostly on the security guards, which made the show 10 times funnier. Because usually security guards are just standing there perfectly still, but they were
Yeah.
reacting to every joke. And it was
He
funny.
will get your attention. He
Very
came
funny.
to Boston. I saw him back to back with Duncan Trussell years ago, and talked to him. This is before even On Cinema was even a thing. So, well, it was a thing, but it was like way like sub. But so I was there to see Neil Hamburger and Duncan. I was outside with Duncan talking to him and stuff, and he signed of all stupid things, an Alistair Crow, and I have it because I got the Neil Hamburger LP, and there was a part. It was from some magazine. Someone had a magazine, a Life magazine, on them on secret societies, one of those, and it had a big portrait of, Alistair Crowley like this, and so it was the perfect thing to sign. So I ripped it out, and I had Duncan sign that, and he wrote something like, I think like love is greater than some, or some, I forget something he wrote. I'll bust it out next show, whatever. But Neil Hamburger got his Country Winners CD that night signed, got sit like very close to him, and what he did was all like local material. So right at this great place called the Great Scott that used to be in Boston, or right outside of Boston, in Allston, Brighton, where this he was playing with Duncan the next night. I went the next night, showed up, and he sees me again and is like, "Wow, you're just like I'm like a deadhead, something." But like I'm following Neil Hamburger, and like his wife did that too, and that's how he met his wife. Is she followed him around, but like, but anyway, so I remember coming up to him, talking to him and stuff, and he was just like an ordinary, just really nice guy. But I didn't know his history and his background and all the things that he had done as Greg Turkington and all like musically and punk rock and stuff. But what he did was so funny because he was like he had his act now is very tame because he did the movie and he sold the rights, unfortunately, right? Basically, he sold out to do that movie called Entertainment with John C. Riley. I don't know if you've seen this. He did a movie called Entertainment.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's all right. I wouldn't I mean, I would recommend
No,
if
he's
you're
an
Neil
Ant
Hammer.
Man.
Ant-Man. So like, but before that, he did this movie, Entertainment, where he is Neil Hamburger,
Mm-hmm.
and that's this comedian, and it's like a really sad, depressing, like this movie. Really, it really is. But it's fine. It has its moments. But he basically had tamed his act down. But on YouTube, there's some record he put out, the comedy records he put out. Like his thing was putting out records, and like in weird, cool ways too. He had his own record company, Greg, and Amarillo Records, I think. And he put out this thing, and he did a 20, I think, I forget how many minutes it was, 5 minutes at least, of him screaming the word gay into him, gay, 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 gay. Like it just went on. But in Boston, he specific that was this place, this specific area. I don't was known for Aerosmith. Aerosmith lived there in the 70s, 60s, 70s. Grew up. Joe Perry met Steven Tyler, and they jammed and played all the clubs around there, and that's where they started. Right there. And all he did, Neil Hamburger's almost entire set that night was slamming and destroying Steven Tyler.
Yeah,
With,
you already
with
said that in a previous podcast.
Yeah, but like, oh my, but like you said, like to be there, like you don't get it. Like if like the people who don't understand it, like even they were just like, what? You know, like
Yeah.
so. Yeah, he does have that
Well,
ability.
there's other personas like you know who Sarah Squirm is.
I love her. Yeah, Sherman. Yeah,
Sarah
Sarah Storm.
Squirm
Yeah,
is her character. Sarah Sherman is her real
that's
name,
right. Yeah,
and her persona of Sarah Squirm is just a slightly enhanced version of herself, and
yeah,
it's not really a persona, but it is a persona. And she
yeah.
did say that Pee Wee Herman is one of her biggest inspirations. She actually did say that
I can see that.
After Paul Rubens passed away, she said, you know, she was obsessed with Pee Wee.
I can see
And you know,
that.
I can see that, but no one really is confused.
Yeah.
It's a good persona, but you have to admit it's not a great one.
Well, she got the SNL gig, and when she got the
I know.
SNL gig, you have to like use your real name, kind of.
Mhm.
So I think that was part of it. But I've loved her. Like she's a big fan of on cinema too, and like
Uh,
anything Tim does. But she was like in the community. Like she was. I remember like she wasn't that famous at all. She had done some, and they invited her on for this. I think it was like a special marathon, or like they did like a VIP essentially. Like it's
mhm.
out there now, but it was like a watch along party or something like that. And she did a skit, and her skit was eating a giant bowl of spaghetti, and she just sat there and just, and every time the camera went to her, Sarah, what do you have to say about this? Mm-hmm. So she was just very funny, and I love her on SNL. Like she, seeing her blow up like that, and like
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely one of the funnier cast members.
Weisberg was on
I can't
SNL.
make fun of. I can't talk about SNL too much because I don't
Why
know.
not? Why
I
not?
think Lorne Michaels picks. Lorne Michaels is kind of a hit and miss.
Oh
He's kind of a
yeah,
hit and miss. Like he'll pick the least funniest person on the planet, put him on the
yeah,
cast.
I
Like
agree.
what?
I agree.
I don't
He's
know.
it.
It's almost like his threshold of keeping someone on the show is if they're camera shy or not. He will kick them off if they're camera shy. I do
Oh,
remember
sure.
a featured only lasted a couple skits, and she was so camera shy she got bounced
Who was that?
immediately. What's her name? No
Yeah,
one
forget her
knows.
name.
She
No
was
one
on the
knows.
cast for like two episodes and gone
Okay.
that fast.
Sarah Silverman was on it too. She couldn't find, like, I guess it's like Lauren is like he puts so much pressure. There's this guy, cast member, this guy Kyle Mooney, who
Mhm,
also started off and made his and wrote his own film, and he does a
mhm.
podcast with the other SNL cast member, but they hated it. He talks about straight up Kyle Mooney, straight. He did Bigsby Bear, which is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Of
I know
like
Kyle is pretty popular
he's
online.
great.
I
But
mean,
anyway, he's
Kyle somehow has youtube.com/Kyle.
no way.
Like, how do you get that?
No way.
So he has that. So
That's
shout
pretty
out to
cool.
Kyle. I don't even
But he
need to
does a
say the
podcast
last
with
name.
another S, but he says like he'll talk to Vanessa Bayer, who's an ex SNL, who's great too, SNL character, player, whatever, anybody, and he says it was like one of the worst things in my life was working that show. He's like, it gave me panic attacks every
Mhm.
day, like the pressure. Never mind, like if you're gonna mess up, if you do mess, like, and Bill
Kyle
Hader talks about it
definitely
too.
Kyle
Good.
definitely has a persona where he does pretend to be 10 to 20 years younger than himself, you know? I mean, that's a common thing on SNL to pretend to be a kid. But
Yeah.
he's been doing that on YouTube since before SNL.
Yeah.
And you know, he'll pretend to be, oh, what's up with you guys? What's
Yeah.
up with you dudes? And he's clearly like a 30-plus-year-old man. And then you see
Mhm.
his friends, and it's like a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old. And it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
He does good stuff. And Brigsby Bear, if you've never seen Brigsby Bear, is like his first movie, I think. And he
Mhm.
wrote it and directed, maybe he filmed it, I don't know. But it's one of the best. It will get your heart too. Like, and then he came out with his own album, which is like a parody of like all these people who come out. Like,
Mhm.
even like it's kind of a jab at Tim Heidecker, I think.
Mhm.
It's like the real me, and it's like I'm a musician, because Tim is like
I
he
mean,
could,
no
you
offense,
know.
but in my personal opinion, Tim Heidecker one of the worst musicians who
Really?
thinks they're a good musician I've ever
Yeah.
heard in my life, bar none, hands down. Because I've been following Tim
Yeah.
since Tom Goes to the Mayor. I've been
Yeah.
following him for many years.
Longer than me.
Okay. I've been to every single Awesome Con.
Yeah.
Not too many people can say they've been to every single one. How many Awesome
Yeah.
Cons were there? Okay, there's an
I don't know.
Awesome Con in 2007, I believe, 2008, 2009, and that's it.
Wow.
There was only 3 Awesome Cons.
Yeah.
So I went to all 3. I don't think there
Very
was
cool.
one in 2010. But if there was, I went to it. I went to every single Awesome Con, and that's how I pretty much became friends with David Liebehart.
Right.
Because at the last Awesome Con that ever happened, Tim and Eric's people said, "Hey, you drive these 2 bums home, get them out of our face." And the 2 bums were David Liebehart and James Quall. They wanted me to drive them because they knew it would be too expensive to pay a taxi.
Yeah. Who asked you? Did they ask you, or like who asked? Did?
It was literally Tim and Eric's assistants asked me, and they
Oh
handed me
wow!
20
Really?
bucks. They handed me a $20 bill.
Huh.
And like at Chili's, I'm such a nice human being. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
At
Yeah. Yeah.
Chili's, David Liebehart's like, "Give me 10." And James Quall's like, "Oh, could I have 10?" And I'm such a nice human being that I gave the money to them. So
Yeah.
even though it was more than $20 in gas money to get these bums home,
Wow.
I'm such a nice guy. I mean, it's not nice,
You
I guess, if you're admitting it, but James Quall wasn't well off, and so
no,
I
they both.
wanted James
Yeah.
Quall to have a meal.
That's
David
nice of you. Yeah.
Liebehart's an expert at getting people to give him stuff, so I gave him the
It's true.
money. Then I bought my own meal. I basically drove him home for free. But it was fun
Yes.
because it was an opportunity to become friends with these guys,
Absolutely.
and I'm just acquaintances. But I did
So you
help
don't like his music though, John? Tim?
Tim back. We're talking back in 2008. I
Really?
probably heard Tim's first album that he put on
Oh yeah.
MySpace. Okay.
Yeah.
I heard Tim put his album on MySpace in 2008. So if anyone
Right.
says, "This guy doesn't know what he's talking about,"
Right. You
well,
know what you're
I
talking
created
about.
David Liebehart's first MySpace.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
created David Liebehart's first official MySpace
Yeah.
because
You
Eric
know what you're
Wareheim
talking.
invited me to the Beaver Boys party
That's
in
right.
Vegas. So I went, and at the Beaver Boys party in Vegas, actually before the Beaver Boys party or after, I can't remember. I guess it was after. Yeah. The next day they did a show at Caesar's Palace, and Eric Wareheim gave me a VIP front table,
Amazing.
and it said VIP on the table
Yep.
and everything.
It's
So
cool.
there, Eric is dressed like a big hamburger and he's throwing hot dogs at everybody.
That's so silly.
And I took a picture of him as the hamburger throwing hot dogs. And I picked up one of the hot dogs and I like wrapped
You
it in a
did?
napkin and I put it in my pocket.
Oh, that's so funny.
And what are the chances that a hot dog will still remain after all these years?
I bet it did. I bet it did, right?
The hot dog is in my garage right now
No
or
way.
my attic. And it's in mint condition.
Perfect. Yeah, that's so crazy.
Because I absorbed all the water out of it somehow.
Oh,
It's a
right.
fossilized hot dog with no mold. It's
That's
fossilized and perfectly
amazing.
preserved. Maybe one day I can ask Eric Wareheim to sign it, autograph the hot dog from all those years ago. He wouldn't even believe. But I picked it
Wow.
up because you got to understand, there's like 20 hot dogs on the floor.
Yeah.
I picked one up, put it in a. Anyway. Oh, yeah. They did
So,
invite me to come on stage. So I went on stage
oh,
with 2 other guys, and Tim did a jump over us with his bike. It was a pretty funny skit. It was a pretty
really?
funny skit.
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot. That's
And
pretty
my
cool.
girlfriend at the time did film it.
Wait,
And
so
I
he had a
did.
bike? He did a thing with a bike?
Yeah. The skit
Okay.
was, I'm going to jump. I'm going to do the craziest jump ever. Woo! And like, he doesn't hurt us. He just lifts the bike over us. It's pretty funny.
Okay. Oh, I get it. Okay.
I
Okay.
did. My girlfriend did film the whole thing. And I think even
Wow.
afterwards, Eric's like, "Oh, Tim might ask you to delete that."
Oh, man.
Like, Tim's very controlling.
He is. Yeah, I know.
And Eric was very cool and chill.
Yeah.
Like, Tim, I think, was mad that Eric even invited us.
Yeah, probably. Maybe. Who knows?
Anyway,
Yeah, maybe.
so that's why I
So you don't
prefer
like his
Eric to
music?
Tim. But I'm listening to Tim's album in 2008 on his MySpace, and I thought he was a joke because he's a
Yeah.
known comedian. I thought the whole thing was a joke, right?
Yep.
And then in 2009, he puts out another album, maybe 10, 11, puts out another album, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I see him put out 10, 13, 14 albums. I'm realizing, hey, this guy actually thinks he's good
Yeah.
because these aren't Weird Al Yankovic
Mm-mm.
spoof albums. This
Some
is
of
him
them are. Yeah.
actually trying to be good.
Yeah.
Maybe you know more than me on the new stuff. Is he trying to
Yeah.
be funny on some of them?
Some of them, yeah, and like some of them, it's like, how do I say it? It's like dad rock or something. It's like, oh, I gotta get up and get the kids, and it's
Uh,
like it's really about, it's almost like a midlife crisis album. It's like I can,
well, the
like,
early
I'm
stuff.
very critical of the music too. Like the one with Wise Blood I was thinking of the other day, Fear of Death, which I really like, but even Wise Blood was like, I'm done. This is like, it's a one-off. Like I'm not gonna put my career, like it was cool to collab with Tim on this one-off, but I'm not gonna keep collabing with
Yeah.
him
Even she knows he's
because
not a musician. But
so the thing is, so
Tim
she said
wanting
it.
to Tim wanting to hire and collab with a real musician is only more proof that
Yeah.
Tim thinks he's a real musician. You have to
Well,
admit.
Wiseblood even said to me, and to her brother too was saying this to me too in person, that like I was like, well, this is back in the day. I was like, well, when the album was coming out and it hadn't been released yet, I was like, so what's the album like? I was like, what does it sound like? What are the songs like? And she's like, well, it's kind of like, Tim songs, but with me sing. She's like, but with me singing over it. And that's what she said. And I was like, yeah, okay. And it's exactly what it was. It was
Yeah.
like, I bought it for her, not for Tim. So like Tim's music, like there's a couple that are good that I really like. Actually,
I mean,
nothing is. I thought it
Tim.
was a good song, but most of it, just so I was finished on this point, is like,
Mhm.
and the reason why Wiseblood won't collab with him anymore is because people can't tell whether or not you're like serious or not. And she's
Mhm.
100% serious
Yeah, she's a
about
serious
being,
artist. I
so.
listened to one of her mega hits for the first time. You probably heard
Mhm.
it 10 years ago, and
Which
I
one?
hear it for the first time,
Yeah.
like her number one with like a million views or whatever.
Yeah,
Her number
now.
one hit.
Now it does, yeah.
I know, but I heard that song for the first time like a year ago.
She was on SNL. I was
And
so
it's a
proud
good song. I mean, she's a good musician.
with Olivia Rodrigo. She was on with the backs, like Olivia Rodrigo on stage on SNL singing, and then in the back you see Wiseblood singing, and Nardwar. Nardwar went and interviewed Olivia Rodrigo, who's
Yeah, I
she's
saw
a
you post that. Yeah.
great first album too. Her Olivia Rodrigo is kind of like punk rock. Her favorite album is Pinkerton from Weezer, which I never thought anybody would. Not Pink, yeah, Pinkerton, which I
Mhm.
thought nobody was a fan of that other than me. But because people usually hate that Weezer album, but I liked that album. But anyway, she's getting interviewed by Nardwar. Nardwar goes, "And how do you know about Wise Blood?" She's like, well, I think I just like saw her album cover for Titanic Rising and thought it was the most beautiful album cover. So then I just kind of hooked up with her. I think it was both like the agents kind of put them together, maybe, but they both were fans of each other and stuff, and they saw each other backstage at Coachella or whatever and played it and stuff, and she played with her on that, and so at least Wiseblood's trying to keep her career alive because what happened was with the pandemic, she was blowing up. She was about to open up for Nick Cave in
And
the
then there was
Bad
like,
Seeds.
then she lived in like Palisades or something and burned down. Her house burned down, whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she was it was in Altadena,
Hmm.
which her place was. But like, and luckily for her, like her whole house, she finally got to buy her own house, man. So I was very proud of her, and she couldn't even live there most of the time. She had her brother live there, like friends and boyfriends live there. But lucky guys, but like uh all her neighbors got burnt down. And that
Yeah.
place
Sad.
specifically, it's sad because it also has a lot of peacocks, and the peacock is
Yeah.
associated with Flannery O'Connor, who's the writer of Wise Blood, which is a collection of stories by the Catholic Southern Gothic writer Flannery O'Connor, who is a genius. And like her stories are just like I can't even. I'm still wrapping my mind around some of her stories. It's just that she's that good of a damn writer. Excuse my language, but man, but yeah. So like everything was burnt out around her. She did some fundraising for her neighbors and stuff. Somehow her house was sort of spared, but she had to move back to New York. She had to
Okay.
move back to New York because of it. So
Well,
that's, but it was good for me because I got to like maybe see her once, but like, that's it, But she was so, but anyway, but she was taking off pandemic hit, and so there was no tours. Her whole life is touring. Like she can hold a crowd with just a guitar. It's just her and her voice. And
yeah.
I've never seen a crowd, and I have it on camera, just quiet, just completely in aesthetic arrest. Just like that's when like it's like wow, like so good that you can't even scream. Yeah, it's just like you're just she can capture you with that. She's so phenomenal and takes her craft so seriously. Like people think like, oh, you party beforehand during a. She is not doing that. She is like focused 100%. Anyway, but and people think that you're doing all this partying, and it's not. That's not happening with her. She's like focusing on the detail, like you do. The
Yeah, she's
she
definitely a real
details of
artist,
her costume
unlike
and
him.
stuff. Yeah,
See,
no, exactly, right.
I'm
So
a musician as well. This isn't
yeah,
just coming from some random dude. I'm a better musician than Tim Heidecker. Times a
yeah.
trillion. Times a trillion. I'm 10 trillion times more talented than Tim Heidecker
I
at
like
singing.
some of your songs more
I'm
than
10
his,
trillion
actually.
times more talented than Tim Heidecker with musical instruments. See, I'm
Probably.
not Prince or anything. I'm not Prince.
No,
Okay. Prince was a musical genius with many instruments and so on and so
absolutely.
forth. My strongest instrument is the keyboard, the electronic
Yeah,
keyboard.
you're good at that. Yeah.
But and Tim and Eric are amazing icons, and they're
Yep.
memes. Comedy wise, they're geniuses to an extent. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
music isn't Tim's thing. Will never be Tim's thing.
That's
It's just
again, we were talking about like with Keanu Reeves and all these different people. It's like they want to be musicians, but they kind of like it's like, I'm sick of the acting thing now.
I
I'll
mean,
do
Keanu's a good bass player.
no.
He's
So,
good.
but
He's
he's not
definitely a
make,
good
but
bass player.
but he's not riding on the coattails of like a young musician. Like
Yeah.
Tim knew what he was doing. I was thinking about this today. It's so funny. When that Fear of Death album came out, it was like he knew that like she was just coming up and he had to grab onto it. But anyway, but she was rising, man. So she did the thing with Tim and she like was like, okay, that's never gonna happen again, ever with anybody. Like
He
any
doesn't joke
comedian,
when it comes to music.
like I'm not she's like she's serious about her music. She doesn't want to be associated with like really too much of like comedy stuff. So she did some independent movies and it was coming up, but then pandemic happened and her tour with the Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, which was going to be huge. That guy is like, close to Bob Dylan levels of like dedicated followings and just going to be huge for her. And she was going and she was going to tour, she was going to come back, and then pandemic hit. And like she just, well, as a musician, your lifeblood is like touring, and making
Yeah, a
money.
bad contract. Yeah.
So it's too
Most
bad.
musicians have bad contracts and they got to get that tour money.
So finally, like she was smart about it. She was offered a position at like a record company. And with like, so now she could have like healthcare for the first time. Because artists, they're not thinking about whether or not they're going to have a 401k at this place. They just want to play music and do their art and hopefully survive and make some money. So she hadn't done her taxes in like 20 years. She never had done her taxes, right?
Mhm.
So she owed a bunch of money. She paid it off. She was smart about some of the stuff. So, and then she was smart enough to like invest in the house. But then she was also smart enough to take up this job as like a talent scout, essentially, is what she is. And she gets benefits, she gets paid a salary, and it's a good job. And when it's something like if the touring thing doesn't work out, the musician thing, because there's a billion people that come and go, as you can see, anything can happen. She can always back out on and be part of the music business in some way. And So she's still in there, man. Is what I'm saying, and it's like that's great. You know,
Well,
like
I'm a music nerd, and
you are. Me
I mean,
too.
I'm big into music. Um, my biggest influences right now is radical stuff. Um, I'm
Yeah. What are you
into
listening to?
well, I mostly listen to UK house music right now, but
Oh, really?
it's not even actual house music. It's modern day inspired house music, but it sounds retro and it's modern day.
Okay.
And I'm gonna create a soundtrack for the movie, and it's gonna be 100% original.
That's cool.
Um, I already have some tracks that I think are the best stuff I've ever done,
That's important. I think the
and
score is
it's
important.
just the score for the music for the movie. It's not gonna be a. It's not gonna be a. It's not going to
A
be. I'm not going
score.
to sing. I'm not going to be singing. It's not a musical in any shape or form. The
Okay.
character is just going to be listening to music, and then there's just going to be movie music. There's no
That's cool.
singing involved, but there is singing actually in some of the tracks. I'm going to try to get some Japanese people to sing for free. We'll see what
That
happens.
that would be good. That's what I'm saying. Like when
Uh,
you go there and do
I can tell
the
Japanese people are
yeah.
laid back. Um, just in the
Yeah.
videos I've seen. Well, for example, I mean, I'm sure half of the time it's their own video. They're pretending to be caught off guard. So there's a lot of
Mhm.
fake setup stuff, but what I've seen is a lot of people are filming, in Tokyo, and they'll film these kids, and they're not young kids. They're like 20 something kids dressed in all black. The
Mm.
goth thing is apparently really popular in
Oh,
Japan right
yeah,
now.
that's
Goth,
the vampire
but it's
thing.
not
Yeah.
regular goth. It's kind of cyberpunk goth thing going on, and
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So these
Yeah.
cyberpunk goth kids, if it was America and you put a camera in some cyberpunk goth kids' faces, they'd be like, "Get the f
Yeah.
out of here, man!"
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
Japanese kids will pretend to not want to be
See you.
filmed, and then they'll strike poses,
Ah, really? That's
and
cool.
they'll know that they're on camera, and they'll strike poses, so they want to be
Interesting.
filmed. They're so
Different
accepting to
culture.
cameras over there. Like
That's great.
they just spent 3 hours putting together an outfit. They're happy to be filmed. You know what I mean?
That's very cool. Yeah, different
But it's the
type of
exact
people.
opposite of American kids
Yep.
or American 20-year-olds who put on an outfit. Most of them wouldn't want to be filmed,
That's a
but
good point. If yeah, especially goths. Yeah.
yeah, especially goths. So
Right.
these are Japanese kids, totally different personality. Now, maybe that was a skit, but I've seen it 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 times. I
Mm.
don't think they're all skits. I think they're just more open, but you can tell if they're really dressed up. I mean, Japanese people, just from the videos I've seen, there's regular ones wearing regular clothes, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Mm-hmm.
Japanese people who are really dressed up and like they
Mm-hmm.
look like a movie star, they look like an anime character.
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, they'll be happy to be filmed.
Yeah.
Now, filmed for my movie, I don't know. I mean, we're gonna see if people off the street will be happy to be in my movie. I have to ask for full blown permission.
Yeah.
There is a law in Japan that if you take any portrait photos, you have to specifically ask for permission. I'm not
Um,
gonna I'm not gonna take pictures of anybody on any level. It'll be blurred out if they're just a pedestrian in the distance. It'll be
yeah.
blurred out. But if I do show anybody, I'm 100% going to ask for permission.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
I am going to hire some actors, actresses. We'll see what happens. I'm open
Yeah.
to anything. I am going to film at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m.
It's
I mean, some
amazing.
people say the best time to film is 10 a.m. when everyone's sleeping.
Yep.
So we're gonna see what happens. I want the shots with no one around, preferably speaking, just
Early
so
in
I
the
don't have to
morning.
ask
Yep.
permission to with 1,000 strangers.
I remember looking at a commentary and they got this, they had to get this shot and it seemed like impossible. I forget, it was like maybe a movie where this guy wakes up and it's a dream and he's looking around and like no one's in the city. And I think it was New York City, but they had to get a shot of like nobody on the street or somehow,
Yeah,
right?
I saw that same video.
What
They said
was it?
it's
I
the
forget
most
what it was from, but
they
they
said
had
it's
a
the most expensive shot Tom Cruise ever shot. They had to
was it Tom
close
Cruise?
off Times Square, and it cost them
No, yeah,
$5 million to close it off.
no,
It's
this
some
was
Tom Cruise
different.
movie. At
But
least
that
that's the
they
video I
do
saw.
that too. I'm sure it's in Tom Cruise, but like this was maybe a little different, maybe. But they had to wait for this director said he was doing the commentary. I forget exactly what it was,
Well, the
but
video I saw was 2001 Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise.
oh, maybe
It
they
shut
did with
down
that
Times
too.
Square,
That is New
and it's the
York too.
real
Yep,
opening scene. And his character wakes up and walks into a
that's true.
completely deserted Times Square.
That's true.
Because there's no CGI, the production paid over $1 million for special permits to
I see.
completely clear the usually bustling
Okay, I
landmark.
thought they had to wait for like a super early morning. Maybe they had to.
It's never that empty ever.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's usually like never that empty.
So they
But
probably had to pay the businesses. Who knows what they had to do? You know.
wow, but yeah, that's crazy. What else did I
I
have
don't
on
have
the
that kind of.
list?
I don't have that kind of scratch. So
Yeah.
as the podcast I was on, truly unreal.
Oh yeah, how'd you like that?
He
Let's talk
said,
about it.
"Ooh, guerrilla filmmaking, huh, really." I
Guerrilla film.
mean, technically, it's not going to be guerrilla filmmaking. See, you might
Yeah,
call that guerrilla filmmaking if I had a cast and crew and a
true.
cameraman and a grip and a lighting
Right.
man, and I had a huge movie cast and crew behind me. But I
Yeah.
don't have a huge cast and crew. Technically, on a technical level, this is a this is a movie term. It's called being a TikToker. So I'm going to
Hmm.
be. It's no different than being a freaking TikToker doing a selfie video. That's the level of what my movie will technically be if anyone asks me. Yeah, I mean, I'm making a
Okay,
TikTok.
yeah. That's funny. No, that's pretty silly, but I hear that's pretty cool. You showed me recently. Maybe we can talk about this too. The um James Franco was did it like a Kenneth Anger song video.
Yeah, I mean,
What was that all?
I
What
have
is
I have a conspiracy theory, and I
I
invented it
think this
myself.
is
I've never
yeah,
heard anyone say this. Whenever I have a conspiracy theory or lean into a conspiracy theory, 9 times out of 10, it's 100% original. I've never heard anyone say it ever.
right.
And this conspiracy theory is that Seth Rogen cut ties with James Franco because, and everyone always fills in the blank. Everyone always says because James Franco, had inappropriate stuff with his film students. That's
Yeah.
always the response.
Yep.
That he dated a 17-year-old or whatever the case. That's
Right.
always the response. But this is Hollywood. I don't
Yep.
think I don't think Seth Rogen would be like shocked at him dating a 17-year-old or shocked at
Right.
him dating his film students to the point where he'd
Leonardo
say, "I'm not
DiCaprio.
going to work with you ever again,
Right.
man. You're dating your 25-year-old film student.
Look
I'm
at
never working
DiCaprio.
with you again.
Yeah.
The two consenting adults are dating. I would never work with that guy ever again." So I think it was something extreme.
Could
Now,
have been.
not that that's not gross and disgusting, and not that he's not a bad person that took advantage of people, but I think it had to be something over the top. And
Right.
I remember with my memory that there was a bar mitzvah. James Franco had a bar mitzvah. Apparently, there was a secret one where he was real with a rabbi, and then there was a Hollywood one where you could buy tickets to it. You could
Okay.
actually buy tickets to this Hollywood bar mitzvah.
Huh.
And James Franco is apparently 50% Jewish, so he legally can
Right.
have a bar mitzvah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think his mom's Jewish. And
I thought he was
anyway,
full. Mm.
maybe there's something crazy there. And then James Franco came out with a mega devil satanic video.
Yeah.
Over the top occult ritual. Now, this is very common in the music industry. Maybe it's James Franco trying to break into music, just like Tim Heidecker. Tim has definitely spoofed this in different things, but
Yep.
James Franco looks like he's trying to do the real thing. You pointed out it's a collaboration with Kenneth Anger, the
From
Lucifer Rising
1999. Yeah.
director, and that guy's famous for being a devil worshiper. I read
Yeah.
in the Montauk Project book, I believe it was a chapter by Peter Moon said that UFOs showed up during the filming of, it must have been the book Synchronicities in Time, Adventures in the Pleiades, because that book's about flying saucers.
Yep.
That's a spin-off Montauk Project book, collaboration between Preston B. Nichols and Peter Moon. And Peter Moon is deep into the occult and probably looks up to Kenneth Anger, just like he looks up to Aleister Crowley and L. Ron Hubbard.
Anger, yeah.
The more occult someone is, the more Peter Moon tends to look up to them. He's definitely
Anger definitely looked up
in the occult, you know.
Yeah, Anger. Well, just a little bit on Anger, Kenneth Anger. So, when you showed that, I was like, oh my God, because I think it was from 1999. That video was from 1999.
Well, that's not when it came out. No,
no,
it's not when it came out.
Okay,
it's in the 2000s.
So he did. So Kenneth Anger just did Lucifer Rising, Scorpio Rising, which I've never seen. Inauguration of which this one here. Inauguration of the Pleasure Dome, right? Invocation of this is one is famous too. Invocation of My Demon Brother from 1969. And I think that includes, let's see the cast here. Anton Zandor LaVey. Yep, Anton LaVey is in it as well. And Bobby Beausoleil, who was this guy who was involved in the Manson. And so that's what he did. Keith Richards is also in it. Mick Jagger's in it, by the way.
Okay, so the music video "Love in the Old Days"
Yep.
by James Franco's band Daddy. The music video was released, I believe, 2013.
Okay, so 2013. I don't know why I thought that. Maybe I was looking at something different.
It says that there was some "Love in the Old Days" Ted James 1999 version. So maybe it's a remix.
Yeah, something like that. Anger also explored cult themes in many of his films. He was fascinated by an adherent of Thelema, the religion of Aleister Crowley that Aleister Crowley founded. He was born in Santa Monica Valley. I remember a thing about him, Joaquin Phoenix wearing his Lucifer Rising. There's a very famous part where in Lucifer Rising where the guy puts on the Lucifer jacket. It's like one of those like sport jackets, baseball coach's jacket, but on the back it says Lucifer. And it's a big rainbow and stuff. And he had a very unique aesthetic and stuff like that. But as a person, I have a conspiracy theory. Okay, here's one. All right. So Zena LaVey, Anton LaVey's daughter, who
looks a lot like Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, there's that one too, right? Well, she kind of looks like Taylor Swift, but she gave birth to a daughter, or I mean, sorry, I think her son, I forget his name too, but anyway, she had like 13 years old. She was like 13, right? So it was a big like, and she never really said who the dad is. People have speculated this or that, and different people, but she talks about have around that like from like when she was 10 to 14 and imagine this that Kenneth Anger would drive her around LA and Hollywood and give her a tour and all that, and she looked so fondly, like even more fondly than she did look at her own father, right? She hated her own father, which tells you a lot about those types of people, right? But anyway, so like she had a kid at like 13. I think the possibility of it is that it might be Kenneth Anger's kid too. Who knows? It could. Some people have speculated it's actually Anton's or like Michael Aquino. People have speculated that her son, who died away, but like who passed away, I think a few years ago. But anyway, he's the one that had Joe Rogan at his wedding, actually. He had Joe Rogan at his wedding. So I think Kenneth Anger, this guy that's in the James Franco video, and you can see I had to slow it down because it's edited really fast. And I had to slow it down to like 0.25 and pause and unpause just to get a screenshot. But then later on, you actually see him of Kenneth Anger. And it must have been one of his last things that he did because he also had in his prime, John Paul Getty, the Getty family. the famous the Getty Museum in L.A. Very cool museum, but they were really into the occult, and they funded all his. He was like a huge patron to because so Anger could make any movie he wanted basically, and they would fund it, right? And they also one of the biggest benefits of that was gave him a lifetime, supposedly a lifetime um, airline. He could take any flight he wanted, they would pay for it, first class, whatever. They would just pay and all around the world. So he did that like he took advantage of that, which is pretty nice
I think
kind
he'd
of
come out with a
benefit.
better movie than Lucifer Rising.
Yeah, right. I know. Like that is what he's known for is like his best movie,
I don't think it's a great piece of work personally, but
No.
so I never got to say my conspiracy theory.
Oh, sorry, keep going
So
with
I
that. Yeah.
think Seth Rogen saw something actually shocking, not dating some young chick. In Hollywood, everyone on the planet in Hollywood dates the youngest chick on the planet. That's just Hollywood. I
Yeah.
think Seth Rogen saw evidence of James Franco actually practicing some devil worship ceremonies, some
Yeah,
actual
maybe.
satanic stuff, some actual Luciferian stuff. That's my
Right.
theory. That's just a
Could be.
conspiracy theory. I can't prove
Well,
it. The
let's look
last
at
movie they did together was Disaster Artist 2017. I thought it was The Interview 2014,
oh
but you
yeah.
got to admit, that video came out 2013, I guess. Interview 2014. I think even though that video came out then, it's just evidence of behind the scenes. There's a more occult side to James Franco. So
Wow.
some celebrities might think they owe their fame to devil worship. Who knows?
Hmm.
I do know. Some celebrities do attribute worshiping the devil to their success. The only one that comes to mind right now is that former Red Hot Chili Peppers guitarist, the one
Oh,
that
John
dated
Frusciante. Oh
no,
no.
the one that took John's place and then was kicked
Right.
out when John came back.
I forget.
The
Yeah.
one that married Carmen Electra.
Oh, Dave Navarro.
Yeah, Dave Navarro. So Dave
Yeah.
Navarro,
Did
I
he
was just watching.
really?
I was just watching MTV one day back when they
Thanks.
actually had shows that weren't ridiculousness,
Yeah.
and Dave Navarro said, I mean, how did I become successful? Well, it kind of all boils down to the time I had a shrine in the corner of my room with an upside down crucifix.
Wow.
And I
That's
pretended to worship the devil, and he was just a big joke. Ha 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 ha.
yeah, it's
Now
not a
that's
joke.
pretty freaky. You gotta admit, that's pretty freaky.
That's very
Even if he
freaky.
was joking, even if he was sarcastic, it's pretty messed up.
Doesn't matter. It's a little messed up. Yeah. Even if
Yeah.
yeah. That I mean, yeah, you don't want to that's interesting. Huh.
But he
And it
said
makes
on his
sense.
regular interview on MTV. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's an honest guy, I've heard, and like he would just he does so I was gonna say I found out remember that cross I have? That crucifix I have, a very big one that had the open secret compartment. So I
Mm-hmm.
found out where it came from, and I was right. It was used as what they call. Hold on, let me bring up. There's a name for it. A specific type of cross. It's basically a last rites cross where someone. So it's called okay. It's called a sick call crucifix. A crucifix with a secret compartment for candles and holy water is known as a sick call crucifix or last rites crucifix. These traditional items, Catholic items, were hung in homes and used to quickly set up a temporary altar when a priest visited to administer anointing the sick. But basically, it's used like last rites, like basically in hospitals and prisons and wherever.
Mm-hmm.
Priest comes in with this crucifix, he can just go
Mm-hmm.
and get or I mean, it could have been exorcism as well, but it's
Mm-hmm.
most likely mostly used for like the sick and in their last rites. So I mean, I don't think it's possible for that for a spirit or a demon to corrupt the image of Christ. It's possible, I guess, because it is a
Well, I think
material
it's
thing,
possible. I think I think the
right?
devil corrupts the image of Mary all the time.
You think so?
Yeah. But
I mean,
I'm
you've
not
seen.
Catholic. I'm not Catholic whatsoever. But
No, I know.
I think that priest that said UFOs could be demons was dead
Yeah,
on. I think he was right. And then
yeah, me too.
they kind of So you saw Disclosure Day.
Yep.
You don't have to spoil anything, but
I don't.
I get the gist just from the few clips, and I haven't read any details on the movie because I don't want to spoil it.
Right.
And I was going to buy tickets, but Fandango wanted to rip $20 out of my pocket per adult. Fandango wanted to charge me $40 for two
Just for a
adults
movie.
for the
Wow.
matinee, for like a 2 p.m. showing matinee.
That's crazy.
I've never paid a penny more than like $6 for a matinee. So for them to claim $20 as the matinee price,
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
terrible.
this is such a scam that maybe people aren't going to the movie theaters. So they want to jack up the prices that high. Well,
It didn't do well.
That makes me want to stream the rest of my life.
Right.
I'm a huge supporter of theaters, and I'm going to go to Quentin Tarantino's theater.
Me too, yeah.
I'll even go to Kristen Stewart's theater. I'll go to any theater. Yeah. I love theaters. I'll go to Magic Johnson's theater, whatever the
Kevin
case.
Smith has a theater.
Supporting real theaters.
Magic Johnson theater is nuts, yeah.
But I don't want to pay Fandango $40 for 2 adults for a matinee. So I didn't see Disclosure Day, but I wanted to. But the few clips I've seen just like 2 stills.
Yep.
I get the feel. I see a nun like cringing. I get the feeling that the movie is anti-Catholic. Is that the case?
Well, I'll say I didn't see it as anti-Catholic, but it does kind of. Spielberg has said that it will make people test their belief in God, question their faith in God or something. I didn't feel that way because it didn't change me at all. It wasn't convincing in any way, shape, or form, and movies don't have that effect on me. So it didn't really too much, but he didn't achieve that. It wasn't that great of a movie to even get that message through if that's what he was trying to do. But you know, and I've thought about it before, the aliens and demon thing, and it's just it's not so much a questioning of faith. It's just yeah, I look at any art through that lens. I look at life through the lens of God, of like God exists. You know, yeah, sure, not aliens. You know, so
I mean, I'm a huge fan of Spielberg, but
there is a character.
He's probably atheist because Hollywood is atheist in general, and that's not a diss on him. I mean, he's just of a different religious persuasion. That's his point of view. I still think he's an amazing filmmaker.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This one is like on, if he has tiers, it's like, probably he has some D-list tier films, and then there's like A-list, Indiana Jones and all that, E.T., and it would be A-list. This is probably a D or E-list movie.
Yeah. Someone said this is Weirdberg, not Spielberg.
Yeah,
when he occasionally does a weird movie.
Well, it's almost like in somebody, Chris Knowles, who also is a fan, friend of the show, supposedly. No, just kidding. But like he is supposedly. He pointed out that it's essentially like Spielberg really wishes that he created the X-Files. Because it's exactly if you're an X-Files fan, I don't know if you've seen it or I know you used to watch
seen every episode.
But you remember the newer one when they brought it back a few years ago?
Yeah, they did.
And there was the opening sequence. It's essentially just that. You know what I mean? So Spielberg really wanted to. He wishes he created the X-Files so bad that I think he made this Disclosure Day, and I think part of it coming out, and he even admits to it, is the UAP lobby, which I call it, the UAP lobby, not UFO, because they're trying to rebrand everything and repackage everything as UAP instead of UFO. So because they're trying to control the market.
The government changed it to UAP, so FOIA people couldn't find UFO.
Right.
That's the real reason.
Okay.
FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, legally have to release certain stuff to an extent. Really, they don't release anything they don't want to. They lie to the American people. They say, "Oh, you can Freedom of Information Act anything," and you can't. It's a lie. It's a scam.
Exactly.
They'll give you a little tidbit, and if they find something that you first of all, you have to know exactly what you're looking for. You have to be very specific. If you don't type unidentified flying object,
perfectly,
you're not going to get about unidentified flying objects. Now, if you use that term, they stopped using that term in the 70s.
That's right.
They changed it to UAP just to get people looking for UFOs to not find them.
Oh, wow.
No one knew unidentified area phenomenon. That's been a top secret term for 20 years.
Huh, I didn't know
So
that.
the government
Okay,
has been
so
using that term for 10, 15, 20 years. But
fascinating. I
now
didn't
that
know
we
that.
know they're using that term, they're probably using something else. It's probably UAWX ABC
Right,
10 12
XYZ.
17 9-20. And if you don't use that exact term, you're not going to find this mega secret
Interesting.
archive.
Possible. Wow, that's really good. That's a good point. But yeah, so but I think it's part of the UAP lobby, which I brought up I think before with the whole controversy regarding Stephen Rossetti was the exorcist that said aliens are demons and got not defrocked, but basically stripped of his ministry, fired. But I looked
Yeah,
into that.
voted
Oh,
or whatever. That's messed up.
it is messed up. And I saw the people who I said, Chad Ripperger, who you thought was, I think, Rossetti, because he was saying the exact same thing. And all those people backed him up and are on his side, and which is good to see. So,
Well,
some
I had a
support.
spiritual epiphany like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah,
What are UFOs? And I really had a spiritual awakening. They're
really.
freaking demons. They're
Yeah,
demons. That's why I made those videos.
yeah,
UFOs are demons. The
yeah.
Battle of Los Angeles, one of the most famous Los Angeles
Yep,
UFO sightings of all time, it
yep.
lasted for multiple hours. And someone had a heart attack while it happened because the military just shot the highest
Yep.
caliber bullets at it for like multiple hours straight.
Yeah.
And they hit the thing 0 times.
Right.
They shot shells this big.
It was so high up, right?
They
Yeah.
shot shells this big. We're
Yeah.
talking the biggest shells that the military had at the time. They shot
Wow.
like 10,000 shells at this
From
light in the
where?
sky
From where?
for like two
LA.
hours straight. And maybe it
I
was more than
wonder,
2 hours straight.
do you
It
know
was
where in LA they shot from? Probably Pendleton or
uh
something. Camp Pendleton,
it
whatever.
was it was over the mountains. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
But
know. I gotta look it up. That's interesting.
they had spotlights on it. It was a
Yep.
solid object. The spotlight would have gone straight through it if it wasn't solid. There was some solidity to it,
Yeah, I think
and
it's
not a
balloon
single
dirigible.
shell landed a single blow. And my gut instinct on a spiritual level was that was
Demonic.
a demon, probably a high ass ranking one,
Hmm.
beta testing what would the reaction be to humans if we
Yeah.
showed up in this form.
Right.
And the reaction was, let's shoot him with a bunch of bullets.
Yeah.
And the demons are like hilarious.
Hmm.
And they never did that gimmick ever again in that exact shape, or maybe
I do
maybe
think they
they have,
beta
maybe they
test. I
haven't.
do think demons beta test as things too. Like that's a big thing. Like they so yeah, Mary, you were saying. Yeah. So yeah, I can
Yeah,
see.
I personally believe, and this is a very unpopular opinion, because
Yep.
I've virtually never heard anyone else say it other than me. Maybe a few people have said it. I've never copied anyone who said it. It's a very unpopular opinion, and some would say a blasphemous opinion. But I'm not Catholic, so
No, it, yeah.
I consider it truly a spiritual insight. Take it or leave it. Catholics are going to reject it. My opinion is, on a spiritual level, that the Guadalupe vision of Mary appearing on the guy's apron
Yep.
and roses appearing inside of his apron, and then he dropped the roses out of his apron, and this immaculate painting appeared on his
Hmm.
apron, and they framed it, and they still have it in
Yeah.
Guadalupe, Mexico, to this
Yep.
day. And they built a church on that hill
Yeah.
where the where that
Vision.
vision took place, and they've zoomed up on the eyeballs
Hmm.
of the Virgin Mary on this painting. And
Hmm.
it's a beautiful painting, and it's the
No.
most famous painting from Mexico of the Virgin Mary, to the point
Yeah.
where it's been considered a true miracle.
Right.
I personally believe Satan himself put that image on the apron.
Wow. Really.
Why? Why would Satan put something so spiritual and beautiful on an apron? Because people worship Mary, and you're not
Yeah.
supposed to worship Mary in regular Christianity. You're supposed to worship Jesus the
Right.
Christ, not Mary.
Right.
And I've had a conversation with a Catholic once,
Hmm.
this nice lady. I said, why do you worship Mary? And then I asked a guy, and he said the same thing. So I know this is something Catholics have been taught or told, or maybe
Sure.
something they rationalize. At least two different Catholics have told me the same answer. They said the reason we worship Mary is because there would be no Jesus without Mary. There's no son without the mother.
Right.
But in my spiritual belief, there would be no Mary without Jesus. Because
Right.
Jesus is God,
It's
Jesus is the
both.
creator. Even
That's a good
though
point.
the mother birthed the child,
Yeah.
if you go back in time, Jesus used to be
God.
a
Yeah.
spirit God before he was born into become a human.
Oh, he's God. Yeah.
Half human, half God.
Right.
Before he was born into the half human, half God form, he created the earth and the universe because
Yep.
Jesus is God.
Right.
And so, yes, it's weird to wrap your mind around it, but Jesus
Um.
created his own mom to an
Yeah.
extent. The fact that Jesus created Adam and Eve,
Yeah.
Jesus created everything. If you go back far enough, and I think that's a concept. At least those two Catholics I talked to, they don't
Yep.
agree. They think Mary created Jesus when
Well,
Jesus
it's
clearly existed before he was born.
yeah. I don't see some Catholics like they just go through the routine and they were raised Catholic and they just say they're Catholic. Catholic. They haven't really put too much thought into these things. So most people will just give you offhand. My answer would be we don't worship Mary like Christ. Christ is way above. Well, he's above because he's God. Anything else, right? So
Mhm.
Mary's part of that. Mary's second. Like she's like the second. So
I
like
mean,
we
Mary's
yeah
definitely a saint and a
yeah
perfect
that's what we're so
person, and
even above a
disrespecting
saint.
Mary would be disrespecting Jesus' mother, which would be blasphemous.
Right. So
But I
it's like
think that's what the devil did with that
yeah.
vision.
I think
I think
Marian
that vision,
apparitions.
I think that vision was a cunning way for the
Yeah, it is
devil to
exactly.
blaspheme the mother of Jesus.
Yeah, it
It
could be.
doesn't look blasphemous. It looks like something wonderful and beautiful. That's how good the devil is at
I think
deception.
you're right. I think you're right. I agree actually because I one of the hardest things for me coming to the faith, specifically Catholicism, was because I had lived near one of these shrines, okay, to Mary, and it's beautiful. And I had everybody had been going there since like my dad had been going there since he was a little kid. It's very old, and it's to Lady of La Salette, it's called, and it's beautiful at Christmas time. It's really nice, and anyway, so one of the hardest things for me to accept with these Marian apparitions that people were talking about, Fatima, this and that. I saw Mary do this and this and this and this and this,
Yeah,
and
Fatima
like
is one I also believe is very
that,
demonic.
and like for me, it was like. Uh, that doesn't this doesn't sound this sounds and I'm with you like it does sound
Let
it
me
would
just
be rather cunning, wouldn't it? Like
let me just talk about Fatima for a second.
yeah, go ahead, yeah.
The three kids
Right.
in this location, I guess called Fatima. I'm not an expert at it. I've
Yep.
heard the story 100 times. I know
Spain, I
it was
think, right?
in was it in South America?
Portugal maybe.
Portugal. It was in
Yeah.
Portugal, somewhere around Portugal, whatever the case. I know
Yep.
he was in South America, whatever the case. So I had never been to these locations. Okay, I
Right, me
just
either,
heard the
yeah.
story 1,000 times. I probably first heard it on Unsolved Mysteries. Okay,
Oh
back in the
yeah,
late '80s, early '90s. That's the first time I was
me too.
exposed to the Fatima story. So I have researched it for a couple hours since then. But aside
Yeah.
from that, just immediately I got a feeling it was negative. And then I
Yeah.
read a book called Beware of Angels by Roger Morneau.
Oh yeah.
But even before I read Roger's story, I researched the occult for many years.
That's the title,
And
Beware of Angels. Whoa,
Beware of Angels was Roger's
that's pretty
second
good.
biggest book.
I gotta
His
read
first
that.
biggest book is called um,
I
something
forget it.
something supernatural.
Okay.
It's his book
Investigations or something, yeah.
his book about being in the cult who worshipped spirits and
But wow, that's what the
transcended it.
second book is interesting. I'll have to
His
check it out.
second book is called Beware of Angels. Now, I researched the occult for many years because I was harassed by poltergeists in the year 2011. And in 2011, for 6 months straight, I was harassed by poltergeists.
Mhm.
It was a haunted room, but he was haunted specifically for me. And so other people may or may not have experienced the haunting. I didn't know if I moved into a haunted room. I didn't know the context of what was going on, but
Right.
I researched it to know that these things followed me. And anyway,
A
I
trip into the
researched
supernatural. Okay.
in 2011. I actually first saw Roger Mono's video because I'm being harassed by poltergeists. And guess who I discovered in 2011 for the first time? Guess who?
Morneau?
These two people.
Hmm.
I'm being harassed by poltergeists in real time, in real life. Objects are moving in my room. So I'm going on Google, I'm going on YouTube, I'm typing poltergeist. What's going on?
Morneau.
I found Roger Morneau's interview
Yep.
for the first time. I
Wow.
also found E.A. Coetting's website for the first time
Wow.
because Roger and E.A. both talked about poltergeists enough where the
Right.
key words on Google linked me to those two people. After hours and hours and hours of searching, two figures appeared, a positive one and a really
Wow.
negative one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Interesting.
anyway,
That
that's
was
when
the
I
first
first
time
was
you heard of
exposed to
E.A.
those two.
Coetting.
So
Interesting.
I did buy a couple Roger Morneau books. I have like I believe 4
You
Roger
have them
books.
all, yeah,
A
right?
Trip
Yeah.
into the Supernatural, that's his mega
Yep.
book. And then Beware of Angels, and he has books on prayer.
What
And
have you read
I
Beware of
haven't read
Angels?
his books on
No.
prayer. I have to read those ones.
That's
So
cool.
anyway, I've read many occult books. You probably can't see, but I have thousands and thousands of dollars worth of occult books.
Yes, you
And
do.
at one point, I sold all my occult books because I needed to pay the bills. And then
Yeah.
I built it back up again, and I haven't sold it because luckily I didn't need to pay the bills.
You have some
So I do
Steven
have a
Skinner.
pretty decent collection that focuses on L.W. DeLawrence, which is known as a plagiarist in the occult world. But I still
Wow.
love the stuff, and I have a lot
Yeah.
of L.W. DeLawrence.
Well-made books, though.
So I'm just trying to point out that in those other books I've read, that there are secret, hidden, occult secrets you can actually learn. And one of the things I learned was demons, very often when they appear, you can either not hear them or you
Mhm.
cannot see them.
Hmm.
Some
Okay.
people can hear demons better than others. Some people can
Right.
see demons better than others.
Right.
And if there's multiple people in a room and they experience it, some people can hear it, some people can see it,
Wow.
some people can't see it or hear it. Some
Interesting.
people can both hear it and see it, which is very rare.
Is it? Yeah.
So you almost have to have a spiritual listening, a spiritual seeing to
So
unless
it takes more than one.
they're really focusing on one person and they're
That
only
makes sense.
revealing themselves to one person. Whatever the
Right.
case, it's a very demonic thing.
Wow.
Whenever
Ugh.
it's segmented into seeing and hearing, it's very demonic.
That is
Now, I'm
demonic.
sure possibly with real angels, maybe that's the case, but I don't think so. I think, yes, if the angel appeared to Paul, for example, and only
Mhm.
Paul could hear the angel, only Paul could see the angel, that makes sense. Because God only wants to appear to one prophet or whatever the case, right?
Right.
But if you're
Well,
ghost hunting, and I've seen this with ghost hunting, because I've seen hundreds of ghost hunting shows. I've seen the same thing with ghost hunting shows. Some people can hear it, some people can see it, some people can't hear or see it. Some people can hear and see it. It's a very demonic trait. Pay attention and look for that. So
mhm.
when I hear the Fatima story, one of the
Mhm.
kids could see Mary, one of the kids could
Yep.
hear Mary, one of the kids could see and hear Mary, and
That's
actually one of the
true.
kids
I
was
think.
lying and couldn't see or hear Mary.
Right.
They just took the word of the other kids
Huh.
who could both see and hear. And one of the kids couldn't see or hear. Or maybe they got a glimpse, or maybe they
Yeah. I
heard one
forget
kid.
things.
So
Yeah.
out of the 3 kids, one couldn't hear or see jack squat, maybe faintly here and there. And
Yeah.
one could hear, one could see. Something to that effect. He was broken apart on a very similar level as I read in Beware of Angels.
Yeah.
And Roger, as far as I know, never mentioned Fatima. Maybe he did, but I can't remember any detail. Maybe he even mentions in the book. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But in the book, he's talking about a 1980s case where a family started a Bible study group. This is the whole story.
Whoa.
In some American regular neighborhood, regular cul-de-sac, some family decide, hey, why should we go to church? Let's just have church in the living room.
Right.
Maybe they had a disagreement with the pastor, which happens in small churches. Some
Sure.
pastors are greedy jerks that just want money.
Sure.
Some pastors are not spiritual at all. The guy just bilks them for cash.
That's
So there's
true.
plenty of Christian churches with bad pastors, and
Absolutely.
most definitely some good, honest Christians have church
Absolutely.
in their houses, and there's nothing wrong with that either. But this particular group wanted to talk to angels specifically, and I
Ooh,
think maybe the
yeah.
pastor said, "Don't do that."
Yeah.
And so maybe in this case the pastor was right, but the leader of this group was like, "We're going to do it anyway." So
Not
this
good.
group decided, forget Jesus, forget God. Let's just
Right.
only talk to
Talk to
angels.
angels.
That's
Right.
our
Yeah.
thing. We're the Church
Yep.
of Angels, Hell's Angels, baby. No, just kidding. But so
Well,
anyway,
yeah.
they're not in that perspective. They want to
No,
talk
no,
to
no.
God's angels. They want to talk to true angels,
But you got
but
to
they
be careful.
focused on it so much. So I don't know how big their group was. It might have been
It should
10
be about
people.
Christ. It should be about Christ more
But
than.
I don't know if it was Sunday. I can't remember the day.
Okay.
Every time they met, they really try to contact angels. That's it.
Hmm.
It's kind of
That's
no
bad.
different than a group trying to contact aliens.
That's
Kind of no
exactly.
different than
No,
the Dr.
exactly.
Stephen Greer grift
Right.
workshop where they pay Greer
Exactly.
$1,000 and they go into the forest and then they're like, let's contact aliens.
That's
Contact
exactly. It's
aliens.
that
And aliens are going to show up. They're going to show up
idolatry.
as a ball of light 2 miles away because they don't want to prove their existence, but they'll show a little glimmer.
Little
So this
glimpse.
guy seems like he's legit, and you give him more money, and as a spiral of
Keep
leaving
going.
the true religion, go into some false UFO religion cult.
Yeah, exactly. You
But in
nailed
this
it.
case, they joined some angel cult, and some people
Yep.
immediately
Same.
left. Some people
Really.
stuck around, and a lot
What
of
was
them were
going
related.
on? What was
A lot of
going
them were
on?
related. There was like a mom and a kids. A lot
Yeah.
of them were the same family. It was at the end, it was like maybe 2 or 3 families. So
So
they
why did they
did.
leave though? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, some people were freaked out. They're like, this is kind of freaky. I'm out of here.
Wow.
So some people, okay, eventually this group did contact angels. Angels did show up, but in the members, only some people could hear, only some people could see. So some people saw the
Interesting.
angel and they could see the angel do this, but they couldn't hear anything.
Whoa, that's
So
scary.
another member could hear everything, but they couldn't see. And
Right.
I think only one member could see and hear.
Wasn't Edward Kelly deaf or something, or like didn't have an ear, like it had an ear cut off or something like that? John Dee called them angels too, man. So like,
Well, John
he was
Dee,
communicating with angels too, but they were
that's another case.
freaking
That's another
fallen
case I
angels.
connected. That's another case I connected. Dr. John Dee could not see and he could not hear. He
That's
had to
what I
take
was.
the word of the medium, Edward Kelly,
Edward
who
Kelly,
many
yeah.
to this day claim Edward Kelly was a con artist and a scammer.
I think he was.
And I think when it comes to Edward Kelly claiming he can alchemically turn lead into gold, most definitely he's a scammer with that.
Yes.
But I think Edward Kelly being able to communicate with spirits was true. I think it's
Yeah.
legit because
Both
they
can be
have
true.
10-hour sessions with questions and answers that are so elaborate. Even the most skilled con artist on the planet, even Robin Williams, couldn't have come up with all of these responses on the spot. They were too detailed. And they
Yeah,
would communicate with a spirit named Medina
that's right.
for hours every
Medina.
night.
That's right.
I think Edward Kelly would run out of ideas after a couple nights if he's trying to just get money from Dr. John Dee.
But
It
the
was
point
the real
is,
deal. It was an authentic demon pretending to be a maiden.
right.
Medina claimed to be just an innocent maiden, an
Oh, really?
innocent, just commoner peasant spirit. And maybe an angel would show up every now and then.
Hmm.
Now, with this group, Beware of Angels
Yes.
by Roger Morneau, even Jesus showed up one night.
Well, come on.
Some people could see Jesus, some people could hear Jesus, and only one could see and hear. It was the exact same gimmick. So that tells you all you need to know. It was the same fallen angel,
I
just in
do
a
think
different form. So that fallen
yeah,
angel appeared as Jesus as a gimmick.
they can't appear as Jesus, which is crazy. Like I've had that happen where it was a demonic dream where, and I know it was so real, John, but like I was flying at one point and I was holding on to the cape of Superman, right? And it was going up into the sky, and I'm like, whoa, this is pretty cool. And then Superman turned into Jesus and was
Wow.
flying around. So it was almost like the demon saying, "Oh yeah, you believe in myths and superstition and flying. Oh, look at Jesus, so powerful, he can fly, huh? Like he's like Superman." And I was like, "Whoa, that was probably a demonic envision. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So yeah, so
Well,
I'm super skeptical of Marian apparitions, but keep going with this
yeah.
angel group.
So I mean, if you look
This
at
happens a lot, by the way.
the three kids with the what's it called again? What's
Oh, Fatima.
the Fatima? If you look at the Fatima, the kids showed up at the same tree.
Right.
Some could see Mary, some could only hear. I think one couldn't see or hear. They took the benefit. They just showed up because they believed in their friends.
Right.
But they would show up. Mary would say at a certain time and come back next
Yeah.
Tuesday or 3 p.m.
And a bunch
And they
of
would show
people.
up and they'd get more information, but it was always vague and it was nothing true. And if you actually read the dialogue that the
Yeah.
Mary told them,
Yep.
it was anti-Christian stuff.
Really?
It was anti-Christian stuff,
I have
and it
to
might
look
have
into
even
it.
been worship Mary stuff.
That's not
But
good.
In the Beware of Angels thing, the reason it even became famous enough for Roger to hear about it in the newspaper is because one of the angel worshippers killed the other one.
Oh
Someone got killed.
no! Oh
Someone got killed, I
wow!
believe, because the angels might have told them to do it. So
Oh
that if anyone was
wow!
on the fence, maybe these were angels. Maybe you're not giving them benefit of the doubt. Well, one of them killed the other one. So it was 1,000%
Wow!
demonic, and that's over the top. And Roger cited that, that this is demonic, period.
Yeah,
And
you
Roger
got to
said,
be
I saw
really
angels
careful,
back in the 1940s.
right?
Or he saw at least paintings of people who
That's
worshiped
right.
fallen angels specifically. He said they were beautiful angels of light.
Yep.
They didn't have horns. They didn't look
Right.
grotesque.
That's what D
They
says
looked
too.
like beautiful angels. They didn't have wings.
Right.
He said they just were wearing robes and different clothing from different time periods, but they were very beautiful. They're what you would expect an angel to look like
Right.
in period clothing.
Hmm.
And they appear to some members, but it's very rare. They only appeared to him as a poltergeist harassing him when he left. So
Yeah.
that's how he over the top knew. I mean, first of all, they admitted Lucifer was their leader. So he knew it
Yeah.
was a Lucifer group from the get go. He was suckered into it. How do you get
Yeah.
suckered into a Lucifer group? He said because, first of all, he was raised Catholic but became an atheist, and it was an atheist in most of his early adulthood. He didn't believe, and so when someone says, "Oh, we worship Lucifer," he's like, "Yeah, right, whatever.
Yeah.
What's really going on?" He
Right.
got magic powers.
Yeah.
He was asked, "What do you want?" And I mean, this is a rare scenario. You're not going to get this in
Yeah. I
life.
know. Right.
You're
Yeah.
not going to get the devil at the crossroads saying, "What do you want?" It's
Yeah.
usually not going to happen. I literally see videos of dudes in Africa saying, Satan, give me something, please. I will
Oh
join the
no!
Illuminati. I'll
Oh my
do whatever I have to
God!
do. And that makes me sad
Oh,
that
so
someone is so
sad.
spiritually dead, they're willing to do anything to join the Illuminati.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's kind of like Samuel L. Jackson. He gave me a little bit of respect because I wasn't bothering him.
Right.
If the Illuminati exists,
Right.
it's Satan. And Satan is really only interested in people who don't want him.
That's true.
Satan wants people that, well, maybe this is giving people too much benefit, but Satan only wants people that are true believers in the true God, and he
Maybe.
wants to
Yeah.
pull them away. You know what I
If he
mean?
can, that's a great victory for the demons, is to pull
Yeah,
people away from God. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yep.
Roger joined this group. He was given clairvoyance, being able to see the future
Yep.
on specific
Clairvoyant.
events.
Yeah.
He could see who's going to win the horse races. He said he saw them in dreams like a week before the race. He
Yeah.
said the dream would specifically tell him what race, what day, what horse was going to win. The
It's
number
great.
would
Amazing.
shine, and he would shine just like you see
Twin Peaks.
in Twin Peaks: The Return,
Amazing. I never thought
when there
that.
is that shining above the slot
The
machine. There
slot
was a
machines. Yep.
guaranteed winner. So
You pointed that out.
I
I
don't
was
know
like,
if David
wow, that's
Lynch.
so
I
true.
don't know if David Lynch heard anything about Roger Morneau,
I don't know. I think it might just
but
be a
if he did,
spiritual.
he got that inspiration from that. If he
Maybe.
did, then he got occult inspiration for something else because
I
that's
think it was
apparently a
something
true
else,
thing.
probably. It's just a universal
Uh,
law.
I've never
Yeah.
had stuff shine. I'll tell you that. That's phenomenal. That's
I've
interesting.
had things glow a little bit. But I never really like it wasn't to do with like gambling or anything like that. So, but I have seen like figures like glow. I've had my problem is with like Marian apparitions and like people who put too much time into not aliens but angels and talking to them. It's like first of all, like you said, like it takes attention away from Christ essentially, right? And that what you're supposed to do, go to church, worship Christ. No, now it's all just communicate with angels. There's a bunch of that we see, and especially in the Protestant churches that I've been to, there's like entire groups, and they think that they're really communicating with an angel, and they are, but it's a fallen angel most of the time because the priest pointed this out to me. Somebody really, an exorcist, I think it was, said, I think it was Father Ripperger, says that he's like aliens don't talk, that much. Like if they do, it's super rare, and it's precisely to the point, and that's it. It's very this bah, like fear not, or that's it.
Well, I
You know what I
know
mean?
the angels that have communicated with humans are demons. And how do I know that?
Well, yeah, maybe.
Because I've read tons of books from these psychics who've had communication with aliens. And every single time, sure, they could be a charlatan author creating a fictional book. But there's a Starseed Transmissions book I read. It's called Starseed
Yeah,
Transmissions.
I've heard of
It's
that. Yeah,
100% demonic.
yeah,
And this is a person that said they're not religious whatsoever. This
yeah,
person actually goes out, the author says they're atheist.
yeah.
And so the
Well,
author in the book say they were a little taken aback when the aliens who communicated with them
yeah, no
telepathically.
kidding. How can you
So
be an
this person
atheist?
is writing a book,
So
and I
stupid.
guess they're asking questions telepathically. Maybe they're vocally, I don't know. But
Right,
whatever the case, the author, they're asking questions to aliens, they're getting the answers telepathically.
right.
And they would ask, and the aliens would ask questions. And the author said that the aliens were obsessed with angels and Jesus.
Yeah,
And the author said they're not Christian, they're not religious, and they were
that
confused
makes
as
sense.
to why the aliens who claim to be from another planet were talking about Jesus and and angels. So that's in the Starseed Transmissions book. That book
Yeah, I'm looking it up
seems
right now.
somewhat legitimate in the fact that this person's communicating with a demon
Yeah,
and they don't
Ken
know it.
Carey, it says the
No
name.
time in the entire book do they say it's a demon. They, to the end, say they believed he was an alien. Very
Wow.
strange.
So it started off as a atheist, and
Well,
he
they
starts.
started as an atheist and they ended as an atheist. They never changed their religion
Oh
throughout the entire book.
wow! Even though they transmitted a freaking
They thought he
alien.
was an alien from beginning to end.
So yeah. So anyway, as Father pointed out, and like many other people point out, they don't. They're not going to transmit that much information. That's what demons like to talk. The demons are the ones that will talk and try to give you secret information and stuff and all this stuff.
Yeah.
That's the thing, So
What I was going to say was, I hear all of these supposed contactees, even Billy Meyer, who I
yeah,
think if he communicated with anything, it was demons, but
yeah,
probably making it up. But let's say he did
yeah,
communicate with something. The aliens always give the same information. Oh, your planet, you need to fix stuff. Okay,
exactly.
what do we need to fix? Oh, just fix
The
whatever.
environment.
Fix
Yeah,
the environment. You're
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Okay, give us the secret wisdom from millions and millions of years in the future. You're a mega advanced civilization. Give us the deets.
Yeah, give us
Oh,
something.
just clean it up, make it nice. They're always as vague as you can
Vague. Yeah,
possibly be.
super vague.
Mega vague. If it's real aliens, they're not going to be super vague. Oh, just
Yeah,
clean up the environment.
all that
Okay,
work. Yeah,
okay, we'll
no.
clean it up. Okay,
Yeah.
how? Oh, just do so.
And
It's
why?
demons,
Like,
and
yeah,
even demons run out of ideas. Even
yeah,
demons cosplaying aliens run out
that's
of
so
ideas.
true.
Even
They're
demons
finite, or
are limited. And I can tell you this much: a
they
lot of
are
the
limited.
times, humans create a piece of art, and demons like try to co-opt it,
Yeah,
like a horror movie. Demons
yeah.
will take credit for it, kind of like a Hollywood writer.
Pennywise, I see a
Some
lot of
Hollywood writer will steal ideas. Demons will do the
clowns.
same thing. Demons will say, "Oh, we created this, we created that." A lot of the time, it's just a human artist.
Demons can't create.
Humans tend to have a better imagination than even demons. That's what I noticed.
Of course. Of course. I mean, they have better like knowledge of like things probably. Like they've been around forever. So
yeah, they've been around forever.
And
they
they're
know
assigned
the details on blacksmithing probably better
but
than
each one has a certain characteristic. And I think I don't know if we were talking about it last podcast, but this father exorcist said that he would talk to a demon during an exorcism, let's say Belial or Luther or whatever their names are, and he would be talking to it, and then it would pop up in another person somewhere else, like in another exorcist, and it would take on the exact same. It would remember the conversation that it had with the father from.
They have perfect memories. Demons have perfect memories.
But you're right. They're limited. They're limited exactly to what Christ limits them to, in my opinion, and in other people's opinion too.
I mean, Roger Morneau said that they can cite historical facts.
Absolutely, they'll give you
so they have a perfect memory. If the demon was next to a human 1,000 years ago, and the human was saying,
a breadcrumb,
the demon can recite what they heard 1,000 years ago. Perfect.
According to Morneau, they're really good historians. Right, Morneau, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but if I remember right, Morneau, one of the first time he went to one of these groups, there was with a guy from McGill University who was like a visiting professor and stuff, and they had this cool little, well, not cool, but secret little place, cool little place for them, where this guy was going to be possessed and give him knowledge about Napoleon. He was like studying Napoleon, and he turned into and gave him basically book ideas for historical, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that might be true because, like you said, they were right there. Demons do have that knowledge, and they can possess that knowledge. It's fascinating to me.
I mean, Mick Jagger said in that Sympathy for the Devil song that I was next to Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, right.
I mean, demons are they're very wicked, but they have perfect memories. But the reason I know that Roger Morneau was telling at least some truth and wasn't just doing a Seventh-day Adventist advertisement. And I'm not SDA, and I never will be. I'm not Seventh-day Adventist.
Yeah,
never will be. I think Sunday is the Sabbath. I think Saturday is not the Sabbath. I think the Jews practiced Saturday as the Sabbath.
That's right.
And then Jesus told his apostles, it's now Sunday. They're like, it sounds good.
Yeah.
Jesus personally changed it to Sunday. And what he says goes, because he's Jesus the Christ. He's
right. Amen. Yeah.
The Son of God and God.
It's fine to disagree. I don't mind people who you can study, but it's fine.
But people say it's just a Seventh-day Adventist advertisement. Everything he said.
Nah.
But I think he weaved that in there. Who knows? Who knows why he put that in there? Maybe he was pressured to put it in. Maybe he came up with that idea to put it in. Maybe he was fooled. Now, Roger Morneau's son actually contacted me.
That's awesome.
Roger Morneau's son messaged me on either my Gmail or on YouTube or on YouTube messages. And Roger Morneau's son is a Christian, but he's not Seventh-day Adventist.
No.
And Roger Morneau's son told me personally, I agree with you 100%. I think my dad was deceived. Now, I went on to tell Roger Morneau's son. I told Roger Morneau's son, I said he was still a good person. I said your dad was still a good person. Seventh-day Adventism is a trillion times better than worshiping Lucifer.
Yeah.
And I think he agreed with me. I think he agreed with me, but I think he was just so against Seventh-day Adventism that he didn't want to agree with me. But I think he did.
Wow, really? Yeah.
He's a good guy and a nice guy.
Come on the show.
Roger Morneau's son is probably born-again Christian, probably Bible belt Christian. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. I think any Christian is better than Luciferian. Any Christian is better than Satanism.
Yep. Pretty much.
Every Christianity's different sects want to quarrel with each other, but I think we're stronger together.
Exactly. I agree. I think the demonic wants to separate.
I try to be positive toward Catholics, but I'm not Catholic.
No,
But
it's
being
fine.
Catholic is better than being
Satan.
Satan
Being
worshiper.
Satan. Yeah, absolutely.
But I personally know Roger told some truth because Roger says, and he only says it for a split second, and he only says it once. And it's so vague that I had to search for days to find it because I lost it. I was going to put it in a video. I haven't even put it in a video, I don't think. Maybe I did. Can't remember
Huh.
at this point. But I searched for days and weeks. I listened to every interview he did, like 10
Couldn't
times.
find it.
He says it once so quietly
What is
that
it?
it was hard to find it because at this point I'm listening to these interviews on two times speed, and he's going blah, 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 because he's
You know
on
you
that
found, yeah.
you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
hear it at that speed because he says it so quickly and it's so short.
Oh,
Roger says after he left this evil spirit organization, he was harassed by a
that's right.
poltergeist for 6 months specifically,
Wow. Yeah.
and then it went away.
Sounds like
And
someone I know.
me personally,
Yep.
in the year 2011, I rented a room on Craigslist for $400 a month, and might have been $300 a month, 3 to 4, whatever the case. It was the cheapest place I could find. I didn't have a lot of money at the time,
Yeah.
so even with the poltergeists, I had to keep paying that rent because that's how low it was. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's good.
But
Yeah.
yes, that you want to leave in a situation like that. But when you're flat broke,
It's tough.
I
Yeah.
left this group of guys that were messy and they let their dog poop all over the floor. So I didn't want to be in that place. I had to flea bomb my room because there's a bunch of fleas in my room. So I didn't want to be in that place. I
Right.
wanted to be in my own place. And I rented this new place and I thought it was going to be great. And it's poltergeist haunted. It's even worse. So it's not physically dirty, but it's spiritually dirty with these demons.
Yeah. No kidding.
And I didn't know if they weren't going to harass me for the rest of my life. I thought
That's
I was
me
going to
too,
die
man.
with white hair, just scared to death because I was harassed by poltergeist demons.
Damn.
And I didn't know how long it was going to last. So I'm Googling with poltergeist, what's going on. I get E.A. Coetting, I get Roger Morneau. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. What else?
Right.
And those two kind of stuck with me, and I did read books from both of them. It's two different perspectives.
Yeah.
And even both of them agree a lot, believe it or not.
Yeah, they
because I
do.
think both of them authentically experienced poltergeist activity.
Yep.
EA said he experienced it in his kitchen a lot. They play around with like little containers.
I love his books.
He has like a spatula and like little containers in his kitchen, and they kind of play around with that.
Yep.
So who would make up that? Who would lie about that? That doesn't even make sense. I think EA summoned so many negative entities that they are in his house bothering him, and he's kind of cool with it because he invited them.
I want to interview him.
But Roger Morneau didn't invite it, except he did join the group, not knowing that it's real, and it was so real that he got scared, and he joined the first Christian church he bumped into, and it happened to be Seventh-day Adventism. And I don't think it's the worst group in the world. I think he followed Christ to what he knew, and he's going to be judged by that. And I think he was a good Christian to what he knew.
Absolutely. I think. I mean, I know him personally. Oh, wow. Do you
maybe
just
his son joined a little truer group. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's kind of about the attitude. I think God's going to judge you. Are you the perfect Buddhist? You never knew about Christ. Were you the perfect Buddhist? I tried to be the perfect Buddhist, but now I know Jesus is the way. I'm going to follow Jesus. Let's hope. Let's hope Buddhists go that way in the afterlife. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
But everything is circumstantial to an extent.
Yeah.
But God knows the heart of man. And anyway, Roger said he was harassed for 6 months. So I didn't know how long it was going to last. I had a 6-month agreement with this room that I rented. I signed a 6-month agreement. So I knew I was stuck here for 6 months.
Oh, wow.
So
at minimum.
I think I was there for the full 6 months. But I left. Okay, so the first 2 weeks, I wasn't poltergeist harassed at all. It was a nice, beautiful place for 2 weeks. Yeah, I got this cool place, 2 weeks, nice. Yeah. And then harassment of negative entities.
Interesting.
And I had a spiritual leader tell me, I know some person bothered you. No, it wasn't a person. It was a non-human entity. There's no There's no like I know the movies where they draw a parallel to traumatic events and people break it
Oh
apart in their head and they
God,
turn it into something else.
that's not what happened.
You
No.
know, like the Pan's Labyrinth scenario or
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
monster. What's
Everything's
that?
a metaphor.
What's that
Yeah.
monster movie?
Pan's
It's the
Labyrinth.
where the wild
Oh
things
yeah, where
are.
the wild things are. Yeah, yeah,
Both
yeah.
Pan's Labyrinth
C.S.
and Where the Wild
Lewis.
Things
Yeah.
Are. And there's another movie, something, something, something. And
Narnia's like that too,
a kid creates a make-believe
but
land to
it's
get out of her
real.
trauma.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, there was no make-believe land. There's no humans and there's no trauma. I think one of the reasons I was bothered so badly, and I was interviewed by some atheist 2 times, and on 2 podcasts, he tried to get me to admit to some trauma. I told him
What?
on both podcasts, I said there was no trauma. I've
Oh,
never
was it
been abused
Jerry?
by human beings
Yeah.
ever. I was only abused by non-human spirit
People,
entities that happen to be
because
negative
they're
and
so
positive
used to
demons.
people actually having that
Yeah, I mean,
form,
Occam's razor says it'll be that, and in
right?
this case,
Pretty
it's
much,
not the case.
right? It's
I
not.
think some humans won't know that my case is
That's funny.
exactly as I said it was
Why would they assume that
until they
though?
see God face to face
Yeah.
in the afterlife, and they ask
Maybe.
God, "Hey, was that John Razimus Hughston guy telling the truth?"
That's the
And
first thing I'm
God's gonna
asking.
say,
Yeah. Yeah.
"Yes, he was harassed by poltergeist demons in 2011 for 6 months,
Why would
exactly
the
as he
thing is,
said."
why would you lie about it and why would you devote so much time to like I mean it just makes no sense. So
I've bought thousands of dollars worth of books. I've dedicated tons of
exactly.
time. And I can tell you this much. If people I know personally see this video, it'll make me look bad, make me look worse.
Why?
Why would I? First of all,
Oh, to see the your I
do
get it.
people
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
associate with someone that says they were poltergeist haunted?
I don't
I've
care. I
made
think
0 pennies off of it.
oh yeah,
Now,
no kidding.
with my YouTube videos, maybe I've made $2.50
Yeah.
off of it from the
All right,
ad.
some money. That's
I
good.
get like 1 penny for every 100 views. Look at my views and add it up. But
Um
Roger said 6 months. I experienced
6 months,
6 months,
yeah.
and I told this to the guy who
So
created the Roger Morneau documentary.
which
The
is
guy who
okay.
created the Roger Morneau documentary just a couple years ago. This is
I
a
think it's okay. It
very
comes on.
recent documentary.
Yep.
This guy, who I thought had full access to the Seventh Day Adventist records, probably does.
Oh,
He
wow.
asked me, "Where's where's that mansion that Roger?" He
Oh,
asked me, some
wow.
YouTuber,
Really?
like one of a major figure in the Seventh Day
That's
Adventist Church,
pretty
asked
cool.
me, "Do you know where the mansion is where he worshiped demons?" And
I
I
mean, you
have a
came
clue.
close.
And
You came
that guy asking me is why I researched even 10 times over, and I believe I found
you came
A
close.
McGill
Yeah,
University owned mini mansion,
absolutely.
and it makes sense. It's owned by McGill
Oh,
University, and
is it a different building from your other video that you had done? Is this a
no, it's
new
that
thing?
same, but I think it's the exact same. I'm
Okay, because
still
there's a
landing
great
on
one.
that building. Someone
Yeah.
someone left a comment. "Oh no, the staircase is a little bit different. Oh no, it winds down."
Oh,
Okay, well,
well,
give me your
okay, whatever.
research.
But
But according
that
to my research,
neighborhood,
it's probably that building.
that neighborhood. So I've researched it too, but from a different angle. There's a thing I'm involved with called The Secret. It's a treasure hunt. So I've taught, I don't know, I don't really, haven't talked about it much, but um, there are different cities where you find treasure, and one of them was Boston. So I looked, and someone ended up finding it, but like I helped along with it, and I actually solved it before I knew it was under home plate. Anyway, there's one in Montreal, so I've gone over like Google Maps, like even in my spare time, like at break at work and stuff. Like if I have nothing to do, yeah, I'll check X, Twitter, whatever, blah blah blah. But sometimes I'll just sit there if I'm bored and I'll go on Google Earth and just go to Montreal and look at the street layouts and the buildings and this and that. So, because there's clues in the paintings, right? So
Oh yeah, I
I've
did the
yeah,
math. I did the math on how big
well, no, but hold on,
basement
I'm
had
getting
to
there.
be.
So, so that this is the angle I'm coming at it from.
Mhm.
So then you're researching more now for that building. So the Golden Square Mile and then McGill University obviously pop up because it's like so prominent in Montreal.
Mhm.
And then But the way you researched it, yeah, it's like basically okay. It could only be Roger says this, so and he says that there was this what stairwell and it was golden and this and there's a certain dimensions and what would you say traits or
Well,
of the
Roger said there's a
house,
first landing. There's a first landing.
right?
There's a downstairs.
Yep,
There's a grand staircase, multiple rooms.
yeah,
There, there's a lower worship room of the gods,
yep.
which has walls that have like 100 paintings on the
I think
walls.
you're the
That has to
closest.
be a huge
Yeah.
basement to have 100 paintings on the walls.
You found it. I think you
I
found
think I
it. Like,
found it.
yeah,
And I
I
think it
did.
was 72 paintings for the 72 demons.
He was off a little bit.
I
Yeah, I
think
think.
Roger didn't count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He
No,
just
why?
saw like so many paintings, he was overwhelmed. You
Yeah,
know?
especially demonic real paintings. You know,
Yeah.
I mean that neighborhood. I didn't even like, and I had reached the point. My point is, like, I thought I knew Montreal. I've been there like over 10 times, yeah, over 12 times. My mom would go there when she was 13 on a train for like $5. They would let you in
I feel
round
like I've
trip.
been there. I've psychically
I
been there.
know.
With Google
Seriously.
Earth, I've been there 1,000 times.
Exactly. It's a beautiful city, man. You should go, but it's like a mini Paris, you know. But so I thought I knew it, but I did not know that neighborhood that you pointed out. I was like, "Oh my God, look at this." And not just that house, like that whole entire neighborhood is really interesting, you know? So like,
The building
yeah, it's
had to
it
be there in 1943.
that's right.
It had to have somewhat of a prominent viewpoint, and
Yep.
a lot of the buildings wouldn't have existed, and it probably had a
Right.
much better view of the city at the time.
He talks about the view of the city, right? Doesn't he?
Yeah, he said there's a two-paneled window upstairs, and
There you
that
go.
building does have it.
Yep. Yep. So you found it, man. You banged on that
I
one.
think it did, but
Why
there
don't you
is a
ask him
chance
on
it
the
was.
show?
There's a
Uh,
chance it was demolished. I mean, there is a
oh,
chance the mansion was demolished, but I think that's it because
yeah.
the basement
Beautiful house.
is exactly big enough for 72 paintings.
It could be, yeah.
I
You could
just think
even.
some of the paintings weren't full-bodied.
What's crazy?
I think only the prominent demons were full-bodied.
It's so cool that you were in your video, and I love your Google Earth video because you're just like bang bang solving stuff. But like, and that's why I thought you would be good for the treasure hunt. But like, you go in the house, right? Am I remembering it right? You go in
Well,
the
I saw the
house,
pictures I could get. Um,
right?
Modern day, it is a McGill University building, but I haven't seen any super modern day pictures inside. But they did
I
renovate
was
it
gonna say
extensively, and
it is a
during the
McGill
renovation, I
building.
think they removed a lot of the molding, a lot of the gilded this, the
Yeah,
gilded that.
yeah, that's a good point. Probably right. Yeah, exactly. Huh. So that's it. But those are beautiful old like
I think that's
mansions.
the building. Of course, kids to this day still hold occult rituals, and
Yeah.
we're talking kids that just drink beer and draw
Yeah.
pentagrams. Nothing
To hang
mega
out.
serious,
Yep. I've
but
seen it.
kids do apparently, the famous building on the hill, which is what is shown in the documentary.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
donated um, to the hospital next door, and he was turned into an insane asylum. And I already did the math,
Whoa. Okay.
and it was gutted and the walls stripped bare and painted just white for the hospital use before Roger's story takes place.
Okay.
So it's impossible for it to have been gilded with gold
Right.
during
For
Roger's
sure.
time frame because it was already stripped and bare
White.
walls before Roger's time
Okay.
frame. So
Makes
that
sense.
building is totally disqualified. Also, I
Yep.
saw the blueprints of that building. It's the famous mansion on the hill in Montreal. Everyone knows what it is.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
And I saw the blueprints, and the
Huh.
basement.
What is
The
that building?
basement is very small quarters for the maids.
It's not
The
St.
basement, the
Stephen's Club.
basement quarters are so small for the different maids. Maybe there's like 6 rooms in the basement, but
What's the what is it?
They're all segmented with walls, and 72 paintings wouldn't fit even remotely as a
Oh,
very small basement.
Ravens
Yeah,
Crag,
Raven's
right?
Pride.
Okay.
Ravens Crag has some pretty big floors, but the worship room of the gods area is actually very small,
Wow. Yeah,
way smaller than the basement of the house I found.
this Ravens Crag, I don't know if you could drop an image, but holy moly, it looks really freaking cool. Like
Nice.
and what a cool name too. But like these
Kids think it's
buildings,
it, and kids practice devil stuff behind it to this day,
it's
but it
amazing.
is not the location.
No, I think you're right. I think you nailed it. But there are some really just Montreal is just filled with really cool locations anyway. Like so, like this is just you should see old Montreal. But I think so. I think we're going off topic. But like the point is that like Roger was spot on, and like his son contacted you so much. You solved
Yeah.
it.
So his son contacted me, and the documentary director contacted me. I mean, my video had to hit some chords.
I
You
know.
have
Come
two
on.
major figures in Rogers' life research contacting me
Seriously.
out of the blue. That's pretty
That's
phenomenal to
pretty
me.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
congratulations. Like, I mean, like, no, but like, honestly, like, I don't think you get the credit sometimes. Like, it would be nice to see you get more
Like if
credit.
anyone's a Roger Morneau expert, I guess I am. I mean,
John Teeter, Roger Morneau, Art Bell. I mean, there are certain things
I
where
only researched Roger
Montauk,
because of my poltergeist encounter. That's the only reason.
Montauk. I've known, let's just say Peter Moon. I don't know. I don't talk to him anymore, but I've known, and you know, you are the expert in Montauk, period.
I
Like
mean,
you're
I'm definitely one
more
of the
than
experts.
me, more than anybody. I don't know anything compared
I
to you. Like
personally think the only Montauk expert that knows more than me is
Preston,
Chica Bruce.
I don't
Chica
know what that
Bruce
is.
went to the locations in person, met Preston in
Oh
person,
wow. Okay.
and she said she highly
Skeptical.
emphasized Preston's probably gay.
Yeah. Oh, I think so. I think Peter Moon
Yes, he
was
was gay. He was gay,
both
but he was in
ways.
the
Yeah.
closet. He was in the
Was
closet
he?
gay. Yeah.
I don't know. I never talked to him. Apparently, right before he died, this girl I was friendly with was also friendly with Peter Moon. Weirdly, um, she was a Bram Stoker award-winning poet named Corinne de Winters, and she was from Boston area. And we talked a little bit. I forget how exactly. It wasn't through Peter Moon, thank God, how we met. But like we ended up talking and stuff. And like she lived over, I think, in Springfield, Massachusetts, where basketball was invented. So she anyway, she went to visit in I think it was called Cairo, New York, which I think is
Okay.
up.
My phone is like 5%.
Oh,
Give
okay.
you a heads
So
up.
wrap it up real quick. Yeah. So anyway, she met him, and she also said about Preston, like, don't. Yeah, he's don't ever do like he has a bet of something like that. She said,
I
don't
mean, just
ever.
because he's gay, I'm not saying anything
No, no, no,
disparaging.
no, no,
Rest
no,
in
no, no.
peace.
It's
He
nothing to
passed
do.
away. It's just
No, but he's a pervert.
Chica Bruce said he wasn't attracted to me at all, and I'm a young, beautiful woman.
Yeah.
That's what
But
she
you're the
said.
expert. You're an expert in many things. I think people overlook you a lot, and you need the credit that's due. So you
So
got
yeah, I
five
mean,
percent
I think
credit.
I am an expert at John Teeter, the Montauk Project, Roger Morneau. Only a
Yeah,
few things here, a few things there.
yeah.
But my focus and
Uh,
passion is making a movie, and it's a fiction movie. If I
yeah.
become successful, I'll be happy to make movies on the Montauk Project, Roger Morneau, and the
David
occult.
Bowie too. I'd say David Bowie or oh, there's a three free audiobooks of EA Koetting's first three free audiobooks on YouTube right now. I'll send you the link. I gotta remember to send. That's
Okay.
just me reminding it. It's so good because it's like like you said, like the twain does meet. Like Morneau on Angel on one hand,
Yeah.
more they both experienced the truth of like the reality of
They just
God,
have
like
different
that
perspectives, say radically
from
different
different
perspectives.
perspectives. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah, I have
Well,
an occult book collection because information is neutral. It's what you do
that's
with it
right.
that makes it good or evil. I
Exactly.
have comments from people on a regular basis. Oh, don't have a book like that. Your house is going to be because there are
Mm,
persuasions that believe even having an occult book will bring negative things in your house. Not necessarily.
not
It's just it's just
necessarily.
it's just ink on a piece of paper,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it's
Right.
just information. It's
Usually.
like an encyclopedia. It's
Yeah.
what you do with it. I don't
Ex-
have any negative intentions. I've never summoned anything with any of these books ever. You know, I don't believe in
yeah.
that.
I don't either. Anyway, so yeah, things can be imbued with things like magic. Like
I
people
mean, I
say
did
that
have a
about
haunted book once. I did have a
yeah.
haunted book,
So like it's
and I
rare
sold it.
though.
I sold it, and my bookshelf was back to normal. But when I had a
Really?
haunted book for about a year, the book
Uh,
was called Necromantic Sorcery by Dante ABL.
no
And that
way.
book was
That was the one.
clearly ritual. That book was clearly
I
ritualistically
remember
used.
that.
So that was a necromantic book, ritualistically used, probably in its
Right.
greatness.
That's why you got rid of it.
And my bookshelf creaked.
That was the one. That's
It
right.
sounded like you would imagine a gnome sitting on your shelf, just kicking it,
Ugh.
making little noises on your bookshelf for a year straight.
Oh, thank you.
So I sold the book.
Ugh.
No more. My bookshelf never made a sound ever again.
Thank God.
So
Wow.
yeah, get rid of something if it's attached, if it has an attachment.
Yeah, I
I
thought about
pretty
that.
much didn't believe attachments existed until that book.
Really. So there
So
you go. It's rare, but we're saying
it's
like it
rare.
doesn't. It does happen, but like information's neutral, so it
So
is
just
what
as
it
an
is.
example, I bought the exact same book. I still
Really,
have it. I have Necromantic Sorcery by Dante Abiel,
a
and
better
it
edition, right?
has the Chinese papers still on it. It
Right.
was in the original plastic. It's never been read. It's in mint
Very cool.
condition. No problems.
Expensive, right? Like, yeah.
It was expensive. It took me like 2 to 3 years even to buy it back from someone else who had a mint
Slow and
condition, unused copy, and I've never had any problems with it at all.
slow and steady wins the race. As they say. So it's good.
I can show the book real quick,
All right.
just as an
Wow,
invert.
look at that rack, huh? Wow. Look at the Shining. You
Well,
got your oh wow, look you have some great books, man. Look at that with
okay.
Stephen Skinner.
But here's the brand new leather edition of Necromantic Sorcery by Dante Abiel. No
Whoa.
problems. And it has the Chinese papers on the ends, mint condition.
Oh, that's nice.
And then, of course, I have the felt edition as well.
Oh my God, that's right. You have
These
two.
are both first editions. There was a felt edition and a leather edition. I have both. Now, why do I have
Have you
these
read
books?
it? Yeah.
Yeah, I've read the whole thing. This book has more typos than I've ever read in any book in my life.
Seriously?
It appears that he wrote it on MS Document
Uh,
once,
and
used
didn't
zero spell check, and
no
never read
editor?
it again.
Yeah.
And maybe EA's like, "Is the book done yet?"
Right.
And
No one's
Dante's
gonna read it
like,
anyway. Yeah.
hurry up, let me finish it real quick. Okay,
Yeah.
here it is.
Yeah.
And then EA's like, looks good after reading one sentence, and
God.
sends it to China to get it mass produced. Only 500 copies. It wasn't actually. It's actually
Right.
very limited copies.
Rare. Yeah.
Very rare first edition.
His YouTube
It might
channel was
even be less than 500. It might be like 200 or 300 for the
I haven't
leather
checked in
edition.
on Dante Abia. I wonder he was interesting
Dante's
when
not his real name.
no,
His
I
last name is
obviously
Pike. His last name is Pike.
none of them have real names.
And Pike is, what is
Albert
it?
Pike,
Albert Pike is a very famous
Freemason, yeah.
Freemason. And so I don't see why he changed
There's a
it. I think it's a
statue
pretty
of him
cool
in
thing.
Washington. There's a statue to General Pike. There's a statue of
When
him
I
in DC. I got
when I make a video, I always get responses from like the people. Like
really
Dante's wife messaged me, and Dante's
just
wife said,
now.
"Dante, no.
Oh,
Back when I made the video book review of this book,
oh, okay.
Dante's wife's like, he didn't say those things. He didn't say
No,
that. No,
oh
no, you
no.
didn't." And I'm
Who's
like,
him?
I said, read the book. Yes, he wrote
Yeah,
that. This is a book review of what he wrote. Now, I'm
exactly.
not making up anything. I'm just talking about exactly the words in this book, period.
She
It's a book
wrote you?
review of the book. So she
Oh,
was mad, and I have to assume she's never read it.
right.
Uh, did I make fun of the typos? Maybe a little bit here and there.
They're typos.
We're talking the really bad.
You shouldn't
Like
have any.
like instead of this is what he did. This if was he's this. Like it's that bad. The typos are that bad. You can read it, you can understand it, you can get through it.
But
But there's like
still,
100 of those in
that's
this book.
hard to
Like
ignore.
100 typos like that. Like enough
You
where
did
you're
an
like
honest book review. She wrote you?
enough
That's
where
crazy.
like maybe there's a secret code. I just get all the typos. Maybe there's a secret code. I don't think so. I just
That's
think he did it
funny.
while he was drunk or something. I don't
I
know. Who knows?
I bet you EA was like, the sales are down. You can't. Look at this review. People are mocking
I know
you.
he was a good seller because
Ah!
I do believe he has a paperback version of this out. So I think it was a pretty good seller.
For the wife and not himself to contact you is wild, man, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
that's a little weird.
Well,
He was
it's even
very
like it's like beta behavior or whatever. You know what
he
I
was
mean?
very defensive, and I was just like, hey, I'm not
They
dissing.
usually are. They usually are, right?
That's because there's some diehard claims in the book, which I think personally
Oh yeah,
are
it's scary.
fictitious. I think it's
Yeah,
fictitious. I don't think the book's 100% literal. I
yeah,
think I personally think he cosplayed a necromancer.
I think so. I think a lot of them do.
I think if 10% of that book is actually true, I'd be surprised.
Right.
But there's
Wow.
definitely some cool, interesting stuff. And I know
Yeah.
for a fact there is some historical necromantic traditional mentions because I
Yeah.
played a game called Pagan Ultima 8.
Oh
Pagan.
wow.
And in Pagan Ultima 8, the Avatar, who's a righteous character from Earth, is here to save the world, right? So
Yeah.
Avatar, who's like a knight in shining armor type character, he has to join like 3 religions in the game just to progress.
Whoa.
You have to get a spell book and learn magic spells. It's just a regular, you have to get a sword and learn how to fight.
That's
It's just
cool.
a regular medieval game, okay?
Right.
But there's a point where you have to meet a necromancer and become his acolyte. And
Wow.
in the video game, the only way to become an
Oh.
acolyte of the necromancer
Is how.
is the old acolyte kills the necromancer,
Oh wow.
and
Like
then you
Jedi.
become the acolyte of the old acolyte. And then you're
Fascinating.
expected to kill that acolyte,
Just like
or no,
the
no, no,
Sith,
vice
I
versa,
mean. Yeah.
to repeat the cycle to
The rule
end
of two.
the
Yeah.
and and that's in a video game I played in 1994. And then
Wow, that's
Dante
fascinating.
mentions that in the book as a necromantic fact.
Really?
Either the video game creators read that
Or
and
he
put it in the game, which I think they
yeah.
did read that and put it in the game, or
He
it has
played.
spawned the mythology and he
Or
put it in the
that.
book as a fact. I don't know because
Wow.
I'm not in the goth mega necromantic world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
that hardcore into it.
Yeah, you're not wearing makeup yet, you know what I mean? Yeah. Dude, that guy last I saw, like, he would wear eyeshadow and like all kinds of. He was like
Yeah,
Chris
EA
Angel.
said that he was dying because when you study that subject, you die. Man.
Oh Jesus.
But
But hey,
speaking of
so it's
dying,
fun to
this
read though.
podcast has to come to an end.
All
We're
right.
probably 1% on my phone.
Yeah, all
So
right. We gotta go. So
thanks for
thanks, John.
watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching,
Any
everybody.
comments?
No, thanks for watching, everybody. John, what about you? We'll see you next time.
Just thanks for watching episode 22 of Pyramidical Podcasts. Until next time, be seeing you.
Be seeing you.